What I do, what I do.
Howdy.
What's happening, Captain?
Oh, damn. That's loud.
You got like a little reverb too, or not reverb, but like, there you go.
Man, 100%. Can you hear it now?
Nope. You are
All right.
G2G, my brother.
Noise suppression, baby.
All right, you gotta have it sometimes.
It's hot as shit outside. I walked to the store.
Oh, it is. Luckily, my Al Qaeda side doesn't mind it as much. I can live with the heat. I hate cold.
Yeah, I'm kind of good with the heat now. Like it's kind of reversed for me. I
Yeah.
used to be fine with the winter. Now it's like, if you're hot, dude, I don't know. You just fucking drink water and sweat or sit in the shade. I don't fucking know. It's not that bad.
I mean, I grew up in a house where we didn't have air conditioning. My parents never had it when we were kids, so they forced us to go outside. That's where you had to learn to play water games and shit like that. Like, all right, let's go, let's go outside. It's cold. It's hot as fuck in this house. And then when you went to bed, you had a fucking fan like 1 inch away from you, just.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we were fucking sweating at night, dude. It's like the worst, actually.
Sweden.
Hello?
Hello.
What's
What's
happening?
up, dude?
What's happening? Well, I've been sleeping a few hours, so just went out with the dog for an hour.
Hell yeah.
Came back. My wife will do just fine on her own in bed, and I'm just gonna fix some sandwiches and tea for her, and I can be
Before bed?
available for. No, oh, I'm free tomorrow, anyways.
Free
We'll do
tomorrow.
the afternoon shift, so
All
so
right.
we'll be up a couple of hours, anyways. Now.
That's cool.
Nice.
Fuck yeah. So, what do you think of all the craziness with like the Ukraine Russia shit? Since you're like right there.
I know what my little brother thinks,
What's he think?
but he's not well, and he hasn't been for years.
Yeah.
Got autism and ADHD.
Yeah, he got let me see, he got ADD
Mm-hmm.
like 5-6 years ago. I think he's 28 now. So and the meds he was taking and the therapy didn't work. It took a couple of years more before. That was around the time he finished his grades. Slowly, he's still a at home kid. He lives on the top floor in an apartment in the house mom lives in. So they live in the same house, but I mean he doesn't go out. And they realized that the meds and the treatment didn't work because he never wanted to speak to the psychiatrists or the support groups or at the employment agency or anything. And he still doesn't go out much, even though he has a girlfriend. She's also kind of diagnosed with a lot of things, has a support living conditions, and cuts herself from once sometimes. So she's not well. He's not right, and they shouldn't be together, and they definitely shouldn't get kids.
Right.
Oh shit.
But at least they don't hurt anyone.
No.
So my kid brother, if you saw the vid, he also the meds didn't work anything, so they went in again, and he got autism as well. So he's one of this new AD autism. You know what? It's a brand new thing. I haven't heard about it before. Autism,
What is it?
ADHD.
The ADHD or whatever? It's like
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it before. Just, I mean, it was new just a year ago or so. People began talking about it. I mean, it's obvious because you get the genes and stuff like that. I mean, both my mom and my dad has stuff, I guess, but none were diagnosed. I'm going in a couple of weeks, and then it's a 2-year wait because it's stigmatized and shit like that. So what do I do? The thing is, I came from this, possibly ADHD, and that's I believe that's my reason for studying behavioral science, social psychology now. Work-life science is what I've got my bachelor's in,
Hmm.
um, and intercultural studies. Some work law as well. So I think I wanted to become a teacher when I was a kid because I saw all the bullying and stuff and people drinking
Hmm.
and cheating on their partners and fighting. I don't know. Best friends. One night, a couple of drinks, came out, never to speak again. I mean, I thought people are just stupid,
I agree.
and that's been my opinion. That's been my opinion since I was a kid. And I mean, Brandon was the one who pulled me into this group.
Mhm. He does that from time to time.
Yeah,
I don't know what you
I've
thought.
basically been the same with people.
But yeah,
I mean, I got my fucking issues. I'm at my fucking
I
mom's
felt
house.
I
you
felt
know,
the same
like, I
thing
don't
though.
know.
I wanted to be a teacher when I was a kid. Like I went to college for a year and a half where I just couldn't pass like hard math, or else I probably would be a teacher.
Yeah, that I missed all the math as well. That's why I had to change in high school from the nature direction to the social culture.
Yep.
What do you call it? Social science,
Yep.
humaniora. It was called
Yes.
before.
Yeah, social sciences and
Yeah,
stuff. Yep.
and took me 7 years after that working part time. I did the military service. I was gonna be a youth. What do you call it? Free leisure time leader for kids things.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's
I
called.
don't know what you call it either.
And, yeah, it's you just take care of the kids after
Like a
the youth.
community like guidance guy or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the community.
Yep.
Exactly. In special places, they play pool and ping pong and shit like that.
Yep. Yep.
But I was sick. This was after my military service, 10 months. Artillery, communications, fire leading squad.
Hell yeah, dude.
That
That's
was
fucking dope.
my bit. Then I went to that and thought I was gonna. I mean, I've been in nature for a year.
Hmm.
Thought it was the thing for me. I thought, but I was sick for 1 month, and they said, "Oh yeah, sure, you can continue the last semester, but you won't get any student loans because of 1 month. And if you're only there 2 or 3 days a week, that amounts to double for the for the student loans agency. So in their eyes, I was out of school for 2 months, and so I had to finance that for myself, and I just didn't. I just got a job instead
Hmm.
for handicapped. The direction was handicap and sports. And I
Okay.
hate sports, but I did get a job as a personal assistant,
Yeah.
and so that's what I started doing for 1.5 years, and now I'm back at it, lots of years later, because I had to finish. It took me 10 years to finish university as well,
That's all right.
working
You
part time.
finished.
That's what I did with high school. That's what I did now. Yeah.
Yeah, man. How about this? You finished.
Yeah.
Most people don't. Like I didn't finish college because, like I said, I sucked at math and I couldn't pass it, and then I just got a job, and then I just started
Yeah. So I
working.
said, "Fuck math."
No, I
There
know,
must
but
be something else.
in
There was.
America, at least in our schools, you have to at least have like algebra 2 or some form of math at least to pass like your they're called general electives or whatever the fuck they're called. So
Okay.
it sucks for us.
There was. There was. Well, I did some maths, but I didn't get. I didn't get through the third course. I mean, so
Yeah, I get that.
took one and a half years.
What years were you in the military?
Uh, 5, 6, maybe it was, or 4. 4. I'm born in '83,
Okay, I'm 87.
so
So yeah,
like my
oh
wife.
05, 06.
Yeah, and that was only one more year before they stopped conscription.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And yeah, it took them 10, 12 years or so before they started again with all the Syria stuff going
Syria.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of Syrian refugees. I got some friends from there.
Yeah.
They finally kicked Al-Assad out of the country. So my friend could just he was just there, and he picked up his teenage sweetheart who he connected with for a couple of years ago, but they had to meet in Lebanon uh, until Turkey started bombing Lebanon, and then he couldn't go there for last year, so he couldn't meet the girl
Try to be
he was
with.
in love with. But now, finally, 10 years later, he got to go back to Damascus.
Well, that's cool. Actually,
It's
my mom and them, my mom's side,
crazy.
we're Lebanese, so yeah, I know a lot about
Yeah.
that area, that culture and shit. I learned a lot about it.
Yeah, he rented an apartment in Beirut, and he got to meet his she was a bit younger. She was 14 when he left, and he was 19 10
Okay.
years ago. So of course they didn't hang out then, but they reconnected, and then they met in Lebanon, and they decided they were going to get married and all that stuff. So
Hey, man,
uh,
it worked out. That's great.
crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah. She's here for the first time. She got her social security number going.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen some of these things. It's cool working with immigrants. I would love to work with immigration more because integration, because I know shit like like they know what works and what doesn't work.
Mm,
Same thing with the Ukrainians coming here right now. We share the flag, by the way, almost
pretty much. Yeah,
the yellow and the blue.
Yep, very similar. Yeah, I mean,
So
like,
and they come.
how
they don't
easy or how hard do you think it is to help immigrants like move into a different culture and stuff? Like, do you think it's easier? Like, as long as you know how to like help these people and know how to talk to these people and work with them, as long as you don't like make them feel like criminals or whatever the fuck,
Religion is the big thing. We don't care about religion much in Sweden. We
Yeah,
got
that makes
this
sense.
secular thing going on.
You guys are very secular. Yep, I agree.
It's not even that easy because we kind of think people are stupid for being religious.
I agree with you.
So
Actually,
it's even worse coming here from that. It's not easy because we don't care.
Yep.
Most of us doesn't. And so if you wanna, it's been a topic for I mean, since I was a kid, and we had refugees from the Balkans and some places. Well, we had refugees from Lebanon as well when I was a kid. So I mean, I've seen kids grew up with kids all my life, and I just never got it why they were called. I mean, why they were bullied. I never got it. I never saw a reason for me to bully people for coming here
and trying to make
from fucking war. Holy shit! They came here. Cool. They've got interesting culture and all that shit, but they're not stupid. Yep. They just have a different skin color.
Pretty much.
What the fuck are you to tell them that? I mean, what does that say about a person who judges people by the color of their skin or whatever?
They never listen.
It just makes them moron. So that's where we go. We're going with the Ukraine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone knows about grandiose personality disorder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you call it. He wants to bring back. Yeah, Putin wants to bring back the good old days.
Yes, he wants to bring back the USSR.
I mean, like 1,000 years ago? What?
Oh, I mean,
the USSR didn't.
He wants to go back to like pre-fucking what's it called? Cold War. He wants to do pre-Warsaw Pact. He wants to have half of Germany and all the way over. That's his goal, I think.
Who is it? All of these old men do. We got Netanyahu in Turkey, right?
Same thing.
We got.
Yep.
Who? Yeah, wait. No, that's not Turkey, right? Who is Israel?
Yeah, it's Israel, Gaza. I mean, he probably wants to push Syria because that's where the Golan Heights and shit is. So that's where he wants that too.
Yeah. And it's got nothing to do with religion. It's just the way a means to justification for building your legacy, right?
The thing is, it's religious for the common folk people, let's say, like your average person, but for like Netanyahu or like the leaders of the IDF and shit, has nothing to do with religion. It's just power. And like I was telling Brandon, whoever, like whoever controls the Red Sea and shit controls the money. Like, there's a reason why people have been fighting for this
Yeah.
land for fucking ever. It's not about the religion itself. It's about the money.
It's like Wayne. I mean, the first rivers like Euphrates and Tigris or something in the Bible, the Old Testament. Even.
Yep.
That's the Indus Valley, I think something.
Yep. You're
Can't
right.
remember if it's Africa or if it's the Middle East.
It's the Middle East. Yeah, the Tigris and the Euphrates are like
Yeah.
that's why the religious folks fight over. They're like, oh, this is our land. This is our land. And like I said, for the common folk people, I think that's true. But like I said, for like the leaders, like the whatever, they don't give a fuck. They just want the money and power. Because like I said, if I own this river, if I own this sea, I get a tax of all the fucking ships that go through it. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. So if there's sand in one area or like dirt, plain dirt,
Mhm.
and suddenly at one place you get crops, right? You can eat that shit.
Yep.
I think back 50,000 years. I don't know when religion started, right? But I mean, they had to get some idea when our cognitive abilities started to explode, right?
Yep.
And that must have been. Are we like 200 years old or something? The Homo sapiens sapien? I don't know, but
we're about 100,000 years old as human.
Yeah.
Homo sapiens. Yeah.
this last version, and the thing is, of course you're gonna see it as magical, and of course you're gonna see it as power, and a way to survive, and of course you're gonna fight about it, because if you don't fight about it, you're dead.
Mhm.
But all these things go to allegories, into what do you call it? Stories, made up fantasy stories, illustration.
Yep.
Become fiction, become reality, because reality and fiction is not so far fetched.
Different.
Sometimes it seems,
Well, yeah.
especially not when you eat funny stuff in the in the sun when you're going. When you're almost going extinct and you sacrifice some of your own in order to get good crops and rain and shit.
Isn't that
They did it
crazy?
in the Americas as well, right?
Yep, with the Indians. Yep, we did that, dude. I think every culture did some form of like sacrifice for
Yeah.
food or rain or whatever. You know, like back in the, because again, they were primitive. They didn't understand. Like I said, they thought Zeus was the lightning god instead of just realizing it's just lightning. Or you know, like there's a reason for it. There's a scientific method for most things that we know. But at the time, they didn't. They had no fucking clue, so they just did primitive ass shit.
Yeah. So I a fair bit of warning. I've likely got ADHD because I got this. I got this form and I kind of just maxed the hell out of it. And but I'm in to see the doctor about it in a couple of weeks, because I got the question a couple of times during my when you're unemployed and the unemployment agency says that, well, we could give you a job easier, some leniencies or whatever, for the people employing you, if you had a diagnosis. And I mean, I always saw it as an insult, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I got a job. I always got part-time jobs, and I still had time. I took student loans to get my studies fixed for applying for university. So I always had a job, even if it wasn't full time. But in Sweden we have this full time 40-hour norm shit that doesn't work because
We do too.
because of reasons.
Yeah. I think they say
Yeah,
like,
so
I think it's 35 hours a week. If you get actually the most production out of somebody, 35 hours a week.
Sure. The work-life science studies I did was a lot of American studies, obviously, as well. We got the Hawthorne experiments, like I think it was General Electric. It wasn't clear for many years, but I think it was. They studied, so they had controllants that studied productivity in a light bulb factory, and they realized in a couple of years, I think it was like 7 years. They lowered the lighting and stuff like that, but in 7 years they thought, holy shit! This doesn't have anything to do with productivity, because the people with bad lighting or good lighting or whatever, they still produce the people who are producing the best the best results in here are the ones where the controllers is sitting and giving them social support. They
Yep.
feel seen. Holy shit!
Yeah, when you care about
why
something,
have we been
you're gonna work
wasting this
harder.
time?
Yeah, the more you care about something, and like the more you feel like they care about you and shit, the more you're gonna help. Yeah.
And then one of the more important bits were to me, because lots of people decided to study economics, business economics, and more work-life law and shit, sociology or psychology, and I chose social psychology for a whole year. So
Yeah.
I think I learned about emotions in organizations and stuff like that. So I got to read Arlie Hochschild's work-life balance books,
Okay.
stuff like that, where
Yeah.
they
Like
like childcare. Yeah, I think it was like what do you call it? HP, like the printer company.
Yep.
Did you call it that?
Yeah, Hewlett Packard or whatever. Yep.
Yeah. Hewlett Packard and companies like that. They were so damn big that you could even have their own childcare for for the employees, and they even had how to manipulate people.
Mm-hmm.
Was one of my interests, of course, but I'm more into nudging because I think that's a more ethical thing to do, and then that makes it transparent and
Incentivizing.
open and stuff like that.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm always
Exactly.
for incentivizing. Like you don't force people to do things, but if I make it so good or like make it more advantageous for you to do it, I'm winning, right? I get what I want, but I'm not coercing you. I'm making you pick it yourself.
Well, I'm also about commitment devices. Learned it's almost the same thing, but I mean it requires a friend.
Yep.
It's very hard to do on your own.
No, yeah. We
Or
gotta work
a health
together.
professional.
A
Like,
coalition of people is always, like I said, I can't build a house, so I need to know somebody who can build a house. I can't, fix cars. I need to know somebody who can fix cars. So like someone like you that can help you with
yeah,
mental health and shit. You need people like that in life. Like we all need each other to make each other better.
but if you can't trust someone, you're not gonna commit. So you need to know that they're gonna show up tomorrow.
True.
Like today, we said this hour, and I said, okay, I'll build it around it. And I told my wife before, and I went out with the dog. I fixed everything.
Yeah, you did. You did all your
Because
responsibilities.
otherwise, yeah, it breaks down, and it's also a commitment to yourself. So you build resilience, then you build fortitude, whatever all these expressions are made for, and you learn to trust yourself. And that's something I need to do as well.
Yeah,
Discipline and shit.
Yeah, well, also it's like I try to tell my kids, it's all about like staying true to your word. Like if you make your word, like if you promise somebody, your friend, whoever, if you promise them this, you can't back out of it because that just makes you look bad. It's like you don't understand. Like
That's why I stopped promising things like age 10 or 20.
yeah,
What do you call it? 11.
yep,
That's when I stopped promising things. I was late to everything.
for sure.
I'm late sometimes.
That's why my buddy, he's always like, you gonna show up at 10 o'clock for work? I'm like 10-ish, like 10-ish. Not gonna be at 10, but be like within like 5-7 minutes.
What do you mean? What? But you know what? I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave at 8ish or 9ish.
Yep.
So that's.
I'm just saying,
No.
like, yeah, I try to get myself it out because I don't try to like put myself to like a time because if I do, then I'll feel really bad if I don't do it.
Yeah, you know what? You know who doesn't feel bad if they don't do it?
Other people.
Brandon. He doesn't give a shit.
Brandon don't give a fuck. Just kidding.
About what?
About what?
Exactly.
What are we talking about? Fucking.
Proved
Almost
our
whatever the
point,
fuck.
right?
I'd probably be pissed off. Somebody wasn't,
I mean, if you
I
get,
like,
if someone shows up like a half
they're
hour late
punctual.
every time and like they tell you I'll be there at 9, it's 9:30 like all the time, I guess you get pissed after a while.
Well, I mean, it depends too. Like if it's like a party and there's
If it's someone else or if it's you.
Eh,
if you're just sitting around waiting for somebody, yeah, obviously.
So this is a funny thing we learned. I'm just gonna leave some threads away off. We're just gonna cut some threads off because I forgot. I just follow a track, follow a new one. That's how my brain works. I have no idea, even because I'm speaking in English right now. It's even harder for me to keep track of what I said and what I was gonna say. Right. So
no, I totally
if there's something, just chop my leg off, right?
Dude,
and
you're
tell me
doing
to back up.
spectacular, dude. For somebody that this is your second language, obviously, yeah, you're doing awesome. And that's the thing. For like us as Americans, we assume that everyone always speaks English and like they should be fluent or whatever. But it's like you guys realize this is like their second, maybe even the third language. Like, especially because you're in Europe.
Yeah,
Europe, you got to have
the immigrants here.
yeah. So
The immigrants here really need they need English, but
Yep.
lots of them come and they don't know English in Sweden,
Mhm.
and they realize, holy shit! To study at the university in Sweden, we need to know English.
Yep, it's
How
crazy.
fucking get ahead? It's crazy.
How
I
often?
don't think you need. You don't even need to know Swedish to have some jobs. I think,
Probably not, honestly, but
but that's a problem.
that is a problem, probably. Have you learned any Ukrainian since you've had a lot of immigrants and stuff coming in there? Refugees?
I mean, I paid for someone's bus tickets a couple of times, but
Yeah.
no, I haven't met someone.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
I mean, not got into any deeper discussions.
No, I got you.
I met a couple.
No, I got you, brother.
They're around a couple.
No, dude, and they're
I
probably just
I
as
have
good as everybody
what do you
else.
call it? I have a second cousin who is also incidentally a Hells Angels, but fuck him.
Wow.
I think he's a prospect or something.
Yeah, I fucking hate those
Kind of
people.
fuck them.
I'm-
Yeah,
I'm
he also
not a
bear
fan
enough
of
to
those
fight
people.
at the age of 40, cage fighting and shit like that because
Yeah.
they need to be cool and they need to.
Mhm.
He went down. He was in the Balkans for a peacekeeping squad for the UN. I think it was 20 years ago. Almost 20 years ago after our military service. He was like this a dog keeper even. So he was one of these. We call it a hunter squad. So they have 15 months of training. And they're the group leaders, of course. And
Yeah.
they're often in the northern of Sweden when harsher conditions and shit like that, and they get sent abroad if they're good enough.
Yeah.
Some of them are even paratroopers. Some of them in the marine. Yeah. So he was a dog keeper, and he went down there, and of course he's fucking insane. So he also went down to Ukraine for a couple of weeks, 2 times.
Mm.
I don't know what he managed to do, but I think he just wants to be cool for for Hell's Angels. I don't know if he fucking cares about people really.
Dude,
If you don't, if
people,
you're
Hell's Angel people don't care. Like they're horrible, dude. They're just like any other gang. I don't like these people because they used to come. I work at a bar and they used to come in all the time and fuck around and do dumb shit. And now we haven't had them for like 2 years, but dude, they're like some of the worst. All they do is fucking cause problems, and they sell drugs. They beat people up for no fucking reason. A lot of them, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them.
I mean, there's this codex, right?
Mhm.
But there's also no honor amongst thieves. So which codex do you go by? You have to be they have to be your brother, right? There's this initiation thing for years going on, where you have to be on call
Yep.
around the clock, even if you have a newborn, which he had. I mean,
I know it's crazy, isn't
it's
it?
crazy.
It is. Like I said,
You need to love us. And he's like, and his wife is, oh yeah, sure, you can go love all these fucking old
chicks.
men.
I know, dude.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a gang, but they
this
always
is
try to
a
act like they're not.
classic. What am I? Chopped liver. That's a classic.
I know. It's just it's so silly to me. I don't get the whole like. I get kind of like the gang mentality of like we help each other out, blah blah blah. Like I get all that, but it's just like when you start
if
realizing
they're
that you're
lost
doing
in
the
society,
evil.
what you do is cooperate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying
That's
like,
not what they do.
yeah, it's not.
They try to find the shortcuts because they feel they've been cut off
Mm-hmm.
from
Yeah.
society. So they need to find shortcuts to get back at society. That's where you get it.
True.
That's what makes it. They want to get back. They don't want to get up. They want to get back.
Well, it's also part of like it's the like they feel like they're better than other people. Like, well, why should you get this? I deserve more than you do. It's like what you don't deserve anything more than this person. Like that kind of thought process too.
Yeah, and that's ironic because that's exactly how the billionaires see
True.
you.
Yep, exactly.
So
It is the same thing.
do you want to have the same mindset? Do you want to fix a problem with the same mindset that brought us here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's the thing. So like
So,
everybody thinks they're gonna be the billionaire, even though you're never gonna be the billionaire. Like that's why I think people bootlick for rich people all the time, is because like they think they're gonna be that someday. It's like you're not gonna. That's not you, bro. That's other people.
so if we get into if we get back into Russia and politics, the same thing happened. I think obviously who gets all the votes in the elections in all these type of countries. Um,
The rich people.
my friend from Syria, from Damascus, he when he went to university, went to French literature, which helped him fuck all when he came to Sweden. I tell you,
Mm-hmm.
French literature, and
Yeah.
he when it was time for an election, he had some guys from the support group for the party for the leader for the his Barak al-Assad or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they came in and watched him vote because that's what you do when it's not a democracy. You're gonna vote for him, right? Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Well, then we can watch you put down
Your vote.
ballot or whatever, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean.
yeah, sure. Come along. Here we go. Look,
Mhm.
it's his name. Good on you, mate.
I mean,
And if
sadly,
not, what's gonna happen? I don't know.
in America, we're dealing with our bullshit. We got Trump fucking openly talking about throwing people in jail that disagree with him. It's like, what the fuck is going on in our country too? It's ridiculous.
So I watched a lot of American the late shows,
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep.
The comedians. I mean, 5, 6 of them, right?
Like
Occasionally.
Jon Stewart and all of them. Yep.
Yeah. And I watched a bunch of them, and let me see. And also watch the legal shows. There are some Mike Raffy and the Legal Eagle and stuff like
Yep.
that.
I like Legal. Yep.
Yeah, and they they just filed like these lawsuits against Trump and won. So I think it's awesome.
It is funny, isn't it?
But it's really crazy that agencies just fly people out at the cost of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, these are the people. I mean, I think the cops that are doing this, the agencies, the
ICE.
agents, whatever you want to call them,
They're called ICE. Yeah.
are the dull-brained people, of course, that has every potential to become a Hell's Angel if shit just hit the fan hard enough. If their wife leaves them and
Right.
the house burns down, they're gonna go Hell's Angels all the way.
So,
I mean, where's the allegiance? Where can you just say, well, this isn't what our agency stands for. This is illegal, and also I'm fired. But you can't fire me because the deal is we're gonna uphold these laws or whatever.
mm,
And then a couple of weeks later, the Supreme Courts or some judge in some state actually appeals and wins. Can't find like denies these executive orders.
yeah.
So and eventually they're right to not have follow through, right? Because it was unconstitutional.
It was.
So what happened to them if the entire police force in one district just straight up Ku Klux Klans these poor people who have social security number who got everything right. Their applications are even sometimes they're American citizens, right? Even and they got work and everything. They're still flight up.
It's crazy.
What's the consequence of that?
So there's a lot
They're
of
going to
people
be
here.
reinstated in
They're gonna.
yeah, people
sadly,
hate
they're
them.
not.
Even though,
So the people doing it, so like like at least if you've seen pictures and stuff, they always have their face covered,
yeah,
right? Which is really weird. So like all of our
yeah,
police people never have to cover face, nothing, right? But these people cover their faces. So a lot of people thinking that these are like the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and shit that got pardoned from Trump.
mhm,
and they're the ones
Oh,
fucking
I'm not sure.
doing this because they're the ones
Uh.
that are they're the sycophants that will just follow orders no matter what. Like the SS and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's true, but I mean, it would make a lot of sense because for us, we're supposed to be all about transparency. Like when the cop pulls you over, you know
Yeah,
his name, you
that's
know his
Sweden
badge
as
number, you
well.
know everything about this guy because we don't want you to think that there's a conflict of interest. Well, these people,
Yeah, so I can't write the name of the person I work with in an email because it's the private
yeah, I got you.
integrity thing.
Yep.
So because emails to public servants are public domain in Sweden,
Okay.
so we have to use this special security programs where we talk about like people in healthcare and all that secure systems, and even text messages. Someone can just go up to the municipality and say they want copies of everything. And some people do in some places. It's really annoying. It takes a couple of it costs a bit and it takes some time and they have to go through shit. But it's supposed to be transparent, so of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, most shit isn't about corruption in Sweden. It's just people want to score. So it's that's what I think, anyways. I was at the Social Democrats for a couple of years, just trying going to some meetings. Was a representative for one small, a couple of hundred people in that area. Nothing big. We had the city I lived in was like 80,000. Now I'm in a smaller town now, a bit away. So I'm not in a big city. Stockholm is like 1.5 million if you count larger district.
Yeah.
So we only have 10, 11 million in Sweden. So it's not a big country, right?
Nope.
Even though it's a very large landmass.
Oh, is it big? Is it a big country?
Yeah, it's like the same size as France and Germany, all that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's very. I mean, it goes up. It goes very high up.
Yeah.
Let's look at an
Um,
undistorted
I
map.
was about to.
Yeah. Check out Google Maps and just zoom out, and you'll see Sweden is almost as big as a couple of
I mean, it
countries
is
in Europe.
obviously pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll see the border to Norway. We steal most of that because the Scandies is the chain, and that's where the border is usually.
Okay.
Even though Norway goes even further up and has a border to Russia someplace. Yeah. But we got the Finns, right? And they're our fucking border police. Russians go through the Finns before they come to us, so I think we're pretty safe. Russians got beat up before. Pretty nasty.
You guys
That
are
was a long time
you guys
ago.
Are roughly you guys are the same size as California.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big state.
Small plate.
The fucking undistorted version of the map. This fucking
Yeah, it's very hard to know the undistorted maps.
shit.
So,
The difference there.
who the hell is writing shit? There we go.
According to
That's one map.
travel.com, Sweden's climate and landscape is very similar to Minnesota. So we live in Sweden in America.
Yeah, almost, because the Gulf Stream, it brings hot water and the currents bring hot airflow as well up to us. Even though we were much more northern, we have better climate here than almost in Germany because of the land masses between. So that's weird, but it's also cool.
It's true. Yeah, but who cares? It's still true though.
Where the hell was I? Countries, Russia. I don't know. Politicians.
Yeah.
Corruption. Yeah.
Always corrupt.
I think we don't have. There's like these international organizations keeping track of corruption, right?
Yep.
Can't remember all of them, but
There's the
Sweden
ICC,
usually
ICJ,
scores
and
quite
all
low, right?
Yep.
Yeah. High or low, depending on which way you see it, right? And I mean, I've taken work-life science and I've taken some politics in that organization. How stuff is built. And you got you got quite a nasty situation over in the U.S., right, where all these states are battling each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the same thing everywhere. I was going to say that politicians are mainly not public servants, but they're scoring points for ideologies, right? And I think we've got some person in this chat who just loves talking about ideologies and fucking hates them.
Oh, it just explains everything. I mean, you can't
But
break away from it, really. I
it's
feel like
true,
when
but
you
you have
break
your
away
own
from
discourse,
it,
right?
you kind of lose like a common tie with people. Like
The thing is, you got to try to
you're like
bridge
too
them.
detached.
You got to try to bridge ideology. So like I always try to tell you, Brandon, like in general, like you got to start with
That's
some
the hard
small.
part.
Like it is, but like I always say, like should kids not get hurt, or like should we not have this, or like something small like that, where you can see like, all right, we agree on this. All right, we have one
Yeah.
commonality. Now let's keep branching that commonality. How much more do we have in common? Because there's a lot more, like on the big things. Yeah, we totally
My
disagree.
yeah,
But like the thing is, if you could trick them into
I
seeing,
could
like,
have I could have
The problem is that they don't think that we agree on anything anymore. That
oh,
it's
I know.
give
that
each kid
divergent.
give each kid a lighter and a pocket knife at age 6. They'll be fine. They'll be fucking fine. They'll invent the wheel. They'll build computers in a couple of years. But if you just mistreat them by being too kind, that's killing them. Actually, the imagination of children is slowly being drained,
A lot of it's
suffocated
technology too. Like,
from school. But bureaucracy, yeah.
well, I'm
Yeah,
saying
technology is kind of a curse, right?
I think it's both.
I'm not
'Cause
going to use the word blessing because I'm not religious. I think it's
no,
bullshit. But
it's both. Honestly, I would say it's the best worst
I
thing
don't know
ever.
what word to use
Metaphor.
instead.
It's a metaphor.
It's a gift.
What do you say instead of blessing? Oh yeah, gift.
It's a gift.
Oh
I
yeah,
say
because
it's a gift and a curse. Like I said, it's the best worst thing ever invented
yeah,
because it created echo chambers, which is horrible. But it also lets us spread
yeah.
information.
Do you want to throw up a little bit in your mouth because uh, every day is a gift.
Yeah.
That's the why they call it a
The
present.
right?
Yeah.
I love dad jokes.
Oh,
That's funny.
yeah, it's a fucking present.
Isn't that
Oh
from
yeah, I
like
got beaten up
Love and
today
Brewer?
again by life. Thanks.
That's why they call it the breath of life. They call it the breath of life because at the time they didn't know what air was. They had no concept of it, so they thought it was literally like your soul and spirit coming back into your life, giving you life again. Like again, going back to like primitive people didn't know what religion was or whatever. Like science, I should say. I guess.
So, like, religion comes from I think it's Latin, right? Religio, and it just means to be tied,
Mm-hmm.
to be tied to a belief. I mean, that's ideology, right?
Pretty much.
But it came to mean theism. So, religion shouldn't really have to mean a believing God or a specific supernatural God being, but it does.
No, yeah. Dude, it's like the first religion that I know of that I've ever researched is called Zoroastrian, and it's like 10,000 years ago.
I can't remember everything, but I've seen something.
But
Me and
yeah.
Patrick were talking about religion the other day, and apparently there's some lines of thought connecting like the West's excessive individualism with monotheism, and then like the more community-centered shit. Well, I shouldn't even say community-centered shit, but like the move from polytheism to monotheism, kind of pretty.
Yeah, I think it definitely came from necessity, because how do you force kids, youth, people to cooperate in harsh environments
Mm-hmm.
if they don't see the gods cooperating, right?
Yep.
So you create the gods are cooperating because they have to. Oh, but they hate each other and we hate each other, but they have to cooperate because else the world is fucking doomed, because there's an even greater threat, an evil god, right? That'll come up and just straight up kill everybody because they can. And that's and they don't live in the material world, but they'll kill us anyway. And that's the way they get people to join forces, right? In a belief, when they can't get any other reasonable. I mean, it is reasonable, right, to cooperate.
So it
People are
was
stupid, and they don't.
it was like the connective tissue initially, and then it became like the
Yeah.
dividing factor over time.
That's because you have different cultures. So like let's say like the religion in China, obviously because they didn't even know like the Americas existed, they're not gonna have the same religion. They might have similar ideas and stuff, but not the same. So when they meet each other for the first time, there's gonna be a lot of conflict. I mean, that was probably a lot of like primitive man's like first problems with people and things. Was dealing with all that shit.
I don't just mean in terms of religion. I mean in terms of like culture wars, like within a single culture.
Mm.
So you want to hear something funny? Because I think I found one of the threads I dropped earlier. It's this intercultural studies. I went a summer course of.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned the Hofstede. I can't remember the name. It's they got cultural dimensions right. A couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them are collectivistic versus individualistic, and that part is talked about tribal communities.
Yep.
But it also a big it's also thing like something with chroma because linearly or like dispersed or whatever. You got lots of things to do. Like in my brain, I can't even order them to know which part I'm gonna do. See them, I can imagine them in my brain, like a schedule, right?
Yep.
But then around here in my house, and I'm seeing all these things
That you
talking
should
about
be doing.
things. Yeah, and my mind gets scrambled. Right? Was when they were building the people from the tribes, the indigenous American tribes.
Yep.
And they came and they worked and they got paid for 3 days and they went home. They went away for a week. They came back and they said, "Well, I'm out of money. I'm out of food, and I have no alcohol. Can I get more work?" And I was like, "Yeah, you had work. And yes, we still need you,
Yep.
but please stay here for." And they went in. They worked for a couple of days. They got paid, and they fucking went away. And they ate and they drank and they're back a couple of days later again. "Well, my money's out." "No shit, we told you." "Yeah, but that's how we do in our culture." Took a while. Obviously, it's like one of the extreme monuments of America,
Yeah,
I think.
great achievement at the time for sure.
Exactly. Built by people who weren't exactly known for being productive
Right.
in their own, like in their thinking at least.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the other thing is the collectivism. And the other thing is the collectivism thing is everyone has to decide what you're going to do, right, in the community. They brought up the same issues for the Indian Americans and for the Africans, where you don't get to choose where your kid goes to school, what education they're going to take, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get to choose anything. The community decides all the schedule for the entire tribes, like the tribe elders sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, but
The
the thing is,
older people in the family. I mean, if you're Lebanese, I don't know if you have these things. If you have to ask your elders in your family,
we
like
do
for
not,
for
but
permission.
I know people that did though, or like
Yeah.
my parents. My mom was she's like a second generation, so they got more Americanized, I guess, as they went
Yeah.
along.
What is Brandon? Do you know what Brandon is? Is he
What I
something?
am?
Yeah. What are
What are
you?
you like Italian or something? Maybe?
No, I am
The Italian
so I'm like
stallion.
a quarter Croatian.
Yeah.
I'm like an eighth Finnish. I've got some English in me, some French. I got 0 Italian. I got
The
maybe
French.
like either an 8th or a 16th Native American.
Yeah, because you said
German.
Finnish the other day. I was wondering.
Yeah. Jeez. A lot of that kind of shit. Just fucking
He's Louise.
Western European, a little bit of Eastern European, basically.
Yeah.
You're a mutt.
I am a mutt, absolutely. But I can see the Italian part. I almost look. Somebody told me I look like fucking Mario before.
No, you look like Waluigi.
Waluigi.
Because you're tall.
I'm not skinny enough though.
Well, that's
Yeah,
bad.
lose weight
Your
again.
youth.
Mario's
In your
supposed to be-
youth.
Mario's like a hero
a fat kid.
archetype, and then we got you.
Mhm.
Right. Now I'm I don't know what I am.
I don't know what I am.
Well, give us more information for our ad hominems.
Brandon, just do not a 23andMe, but do a test. That's what I did. That's how I know. I already kind of knew, but then
Eventually.
I got the official. I did like, oh, this is exactly what the fuck I am. Cool.
My older brother confirmed the Native American, but I don't know how much.
So
That's
do
the
you
thing
know
is,
how do you?
like we don't know like there's like a lot of people that claim Native American ancestry, but that it's actually like African
Mhm.
ancestry. But I don't think that that's me.
Actually,
but like that kind of shit happens.
Asians and Native Americans are actually like the closest, like on a biological.
Oh yeah,
whatever,
for sure.
yeah.
But because there was like shame associated with having African
Oh,
ancestry.
because they're short. Because they're all short.
Mhm.
That brings people together.
It does kind of actually.
Physical,
Being short.
physical
Yep.
inabilities.
Yeah, man.
What do you call it?
I mean, that's why.
It's
Isn't
a
that kind of the
stigma,
same
right?
reason why we try to
People
like
group around
each other
stigma.
now? Same thing. Like people with
That's weird because people group not around common interests all the time, but they also group around the stigmas, right? Like being
Yep.
religious.
That's what I was saying. Like if
Yeah,
you're a person
yeah.
with one arm, you're probably gonna talk to other people who have like one arm. Like you're gonna try to, because they have common like empathy for you. Like they understand. Like when you talk about something, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, dude, I understand what you're talking about." Like, thank you. Like it's all I need.
That's trauma bonding as well, right?
Yep.
A lot of people hooking up at those places that should not be hooking up.
True.
And that ties back to what I was saying about me being a kid with likely ADHD from the start, right?
Yep.
That's why I started studying all these things, and that's why, even though I'm a shit listener, I've always been a shit listener. I think I listen because I care, and the
And to
people
respond.
who, yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I always had to come up with a solution, right?
Yep.
I still love doing that because I am what I am, but I've realized that I have to tone myself down a lot around certain type of people, like my wife.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who stay friends with me, even though we don't necessarily talk every year,
Yep.
are the ones that feel that I'm genuine and kind. That's my thing. I want to be genuine and I want to be kind, right?
Yep. My
And I don't care if I'm
calls
smart.
me an asshole all the time, but I'm like, yeah, but I'm an honest asshole, right? Like people respect me because I'll tell you what the fuck. Like if you don't want to hear it, whatever the fuck, you might think I'm mean or whatever, but I mean what the fuck I say. Like I don't just give you fucking bullshit answers or whatever.
They can trust you, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
And
I'm an
that's
honest
me as well.
asshole, right? Like it's a difference.
It is. It is. You don't. I think I hate theatrical people.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't despise theater.
Not
but
like actual
when
theater,
they're
but
over the
people
top,
acting it. Yeah.
yeah, people acting it,
Yep.
like in the streets, like classic girl culture. What do you call it? Uptown girl.
Yep.
Shit. It makes me kind of sick almost. I mean, they don't even. And then a couple of years later, some influencer comes out in the 30s, and they say, "I've always been insecure. I never got to be myself around my friends." Oh, that's funny because all their friends are also influencers, and they also came out in their 30s saying they couldn't be themselves around their friends. Holy shit!
Right.
Deceiving
We
themselves
have an
by
epidemic.
deceiving others. I mean, what the fuck? You're fostering it yourself. Holy shit!
For sure,
Yep.
dude.
Yeah.
It's the fear, man.
It's
Fear breaking from the
projection too. A
norm.
lot of it's projection. Like you talk shit about things that you are
Yeah.
actually afraid of or you're into or whatever, you know, like oh, like when people are
Yep.
talking shit to me, I'm always like, "Oh, is this what you think about yourself or what this is how you feel, bro?" Like you're just saying it about me though, right? Just to kind of get it off your chest, you know? Let's just cuz that's a lot of people's problems too.
Yay! Yay! That's one thing, right?
True. I mean, that was especially back in the day, but it's coming back now, don't worry.
Yeah, it is. Sweden was right. We call it PK. You do it in the US, right, as well?
Mhm.
But it's politically. Well, yeah, but you say PC, right? Yeah.
Yeah, politically correct, yeah, but don't matter.
Say PK.
I like
Yeah.
PK.
With a K. It's the same word. It's the same word, correct?
Basically.
I do like Anthony Jeselnik's, and we got the British comedian Jimmy Carr
Yep.
saying really rough stuff.
I do like Jimmy Carr.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind jokes about abortion, but maybe not. You have to pick your place, right? And he has this YouTube channel where he has shows, and people are walking out of the shows, and he's like, "Did you not look me up before you came to my show?
Right.
What did you think you were gonna get?"
I know.
It's quite funny.
Thing is, I'm more
And
of a believer
Jeselnik
that
is a
everything's
fucking
open.
beast. Yeah. We don't say the N word, obviously. I don't. I
Yeah.
can. We used to have, so I'm not gonna, but depending on.
You're not gonna do it right now.
I'm not gonna do it right now because this shit might be recorded.
Yeah, don't do it.
No, don't fucking do that. I don't think I gave up those vibes, but maybe you have no idea. I don't know Brandon, right?
Fuck him. He's gonna learn
So
today.
I started recording
What?
my call like 10 years ago or even more because I was in the union and I was working in a convenience store, like a food store, and I was gonna study part time while working part time. So this final like high school thing, and they said it was free to just start studying, right? But then because I had you get these unemployment checks for working half time if you're in the union, and you pay for the. Well, it's separate. The union and the unemployment fund is separate, but they're tied to the same unions often. So a couple of weeks later, one of those representatives came in and they said, "Well, your application just came in, but it shows that that the course started like 2 weeks ago." Yeah, I said, because when I called you, you said it was fine to start. And they said there's no record of that in our on our computer. So they deduct me like 2 months of unemployment checks. So it took 1 more year before I could apply for the university. And that's when I downloaded for my Android recording software apps. It's been some issues because they mainly record through the speaker. I think now it's not perfect anymore, especially in some states. But in Sweden, it's illegal if you're a part of the call. So my Google Drive is filled with hundreds and hundreds of calls, like 10 years back.
God damn.
Yeah.
I don't got
Because
nothing.
and I have benefited from it because I've shown people at work, like I was even at one store and the same kind of store there. They tried to send me home a couple of hours early when the chief had told me to work until 8, and they tried to send me home at 4 at night. boss told me to work until 8. No, he didn't. I am in charge here.
Right.
We're gonna save money by sending you home. I was like, yeah, but listen to this, motherfucker. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if you don't like Friends, that's what you do. But on the other hand, she did that shit to me. Tried to pull that on me, and I got it recorded. And it feels good when you do that. So I didn't work there for much longer. Anyways, got fewer and fewer hours. It was
Yeah,
fine
we
because I was
know.
gonna. Because they just let. I started working at the same type store in another city instead for 6 months before I got into the university. Yeah,
Mhm.
so that's what you get when you move around, when you study and work part time. The best thing is to just study, but when you got little social support, it's crazy. They don't teach you life skills when you need it, when you need to learn life skills, and they don't teach you how to use the washer, or like stuff like that,
Yeah.
or cook food. We have this course when we were 10, 11 or something. I think it's social economics or home economics, I think it's called.
Mhm.
They're cutting down on it even. I mean, you get to learn that shit when you're 10, 11, 12. Some courses, like what a course once or one or the other week, something like that. But nobody's going to wash when they're 10, 11. Nobody's going to cook food when they're 10, 11. And so the classes is really wasted on kids. What they should be learning is integrity, how to use
Common sense. Not
AI,
common
social
sense, but like,
media, computers, how to not be mean, how to understand other people, what the needs are going to be for the future, shit like that, so they see what they're going to be in the future. So I'm 10. Why am I learning about these like 15 different kings that we've had for 500 years? Why is that important in my life, in anyone's life?
Yeah, it's like a
It
loyalty
fucking
thing,
it
I
fucking
guess.
isn't.
That's
I
like
would
stuck
say
around.
the reason why you learn it is so you don't repeat it. So like I feel like that's part of the issue why you
Yeah,
just like to a degree I get what you're
don't kill
saying.
your
I feel
family.
like I
That's
would feel
part of the
like your
lesson.
parents like you're grown like whoever you're raised with is supposed to be the ones that kind of teach you how to fucking cook. And like I've taught my kids how to cook. I've taught my kids how to do certain things. So like
Yeah,
I feel like schools should stay more like on the education academic stuff. I mean, you can I agree. Like in high school, there should be electives like how to like maintain a house or how to like save money or like handle money better or do things like those should be
definitely.
elective classes. I agree. Like there should be more of them, and they should be more well open for kids to get. But like I
I
feel
mean,
like
the people who say they don't need them are the ones who probably do, right?
yeah, I guess
If you're 18, 19, and you're just out of college, what do you? I can't remember. It's high school, right? Up
yep.
to 18.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then there should be more community stuff because it's really hard to find a job anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to wait several months because the first couple of months, if you go to the employment agency, they're going to send you on a course on how to write your CV,
Yep.
how to write an application
Yep.
with what merits, how, why, what skills do you have, and it's not. It used to be better coaching, but coaching is still bullshit. The people who were coaches for me, who I was inspired by, like
Mm-hmm.
22 years ago when just before military service there, I was kicked out of school, but I went up to live with my siblings, my older siblings,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to wait almost a year to get into the military service. I couldn't study because I was under 20, and I couldn't take students loan because I was under 20, and because I didn't stay in my region. I moved just an hour away from my dad and his new wife. He wasn't responsible for me anymore, so I was just I had to go on social welfare for that those 8 9 months. I couldn't even study, even though that was what I wanted to do,
That
but I
sucks.
wasn't allowed to. That's fucking weird. That's
That is so
exactly
weird.
what they should have done. That was
I
stupid,
I
right?
feel like
They
if
just
someone wants to learn, you should let them learn. Because like I always feel like a smarter
yeah.
society
Yeah, I was so
is
ready.
a better society for everybody.
Yeah, I was so ready because I was leaving everything. I was gonna live with my siblings. So this is a new start, right?
Hmm.
I'm gonna be isolated. I'm gonna sort my thoughts out. I know what subjects I can do one at a time. I
Yep.
don't have to do 10 different things like you do in school.
Yep.
And I always played cards on the breaks, right? I
Yeah.
came late to the class all the time. That's not how. What do you call it? We call it the pedagogically. How do you pronounce it?
Pedagogical,
Pedagogy.
I
Yeah,
guess.
you speak
Paradox.
almost the same. Pedagogik in Swedish. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's a great word, but it's really hard to say in English.
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's
Pedagogical, apparently. Gogic.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Pedagogy. That's what they did to me. Pedagogy. Pedagogy. So I'm not a dissident, but I'm social democratic in my ideology,
Hmm.
and that means reformative. My utopia is reformative, not revolutionary. I sympathize, obviously.
Yep.
Um, I just don't. I just don't feel the need to kill the billionaires. I just want to have their money.
Sure.
Uh, if
No,
they
I don't.
don't use it for good,
Yeah, that's where like
I don't.
we
I
have a
don't
buddy
hate
that's
people who are
all
rich.
fucking
I
about
don't hate people.
doing all that stuff, and I'm always like, dude, you don't need to do all that. All we need to do is change the tax codes where instead of them having billions, they should be taxed. When you have $1 billion, you should be taxed like 50%. Like you should be able to give half your money back and still be rich as
Progressive
fuck.
tax, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Mhm.
But the thing
Where I
is,
see it,
And
capitalism is gonna fall. It just has to happen at a rate that will not
so
cause more
what?
chaos.
I
Essentially,
think the only
So
way
what
that
they do,
capitalism
they
falls
invest
is if we
in.
have UBI.
yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
probably true.
I'm saying it has to be UBI and the robots take over all the jobs. Then we could have some
hmm
kind of
The means of production has to, yeah, like the
So,
whole
so I think
organization of
we
labor has to
almost
be
have
able to be
UBI in Sweden. We almost have it.
cool.
It's called social welfare, but
yep.
I mean, it is almost
It's
not
close.
It's not
quite,
like
but almost.
Yeah,
unconditional, right?
you guys are like
Yeah.
you guys are always like the testing ground for like what we in America look at, like use Denmark. All you guys are always like, what are they doing and how does it work? And does it work well? Does it not work well? You know, like
So,
we use it as just our studies.
so there's this thing called a life net, where someone who doesn't finish high school, they're often at a minus, right?
Yep.
People who are immigrants, they go at a minus.
Yep.
They cost society,
Mm-hmm.
but what we that's just the numbers, right? Because we don't actually know the background factors behind everything. So if an immigrant comes here, we take care of them. It's gonna be better for other immigrants,
Yep.
and they'll integrate better. They'll work better. It'll take years, but thing is, there's this thing in America, right? You have this plaque somewhere where it takes the measure of society is not how we treat their best, but how we treat our worst,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Yeah.
The
Statue of Liberty.
famous plaque some
Yeah.
president says.
Yep.
And thing is, even though like we have this party, the Swedish Democrats, which are the right wings, the crazies, the Nazis, right? They started in the 80s, and then now they try to watch the Nazi,
Tone.
the far right extremist racists away, but they're still there, right?
Yep.
We even have some social democrats joining their party because the Social Democratic Party has become too academic, and they don't feel like they fit in or get a voice in that party because you don't have an academic background. You're just being talked down to by your own party. So
Yep.
that's why they, obviously. So now the Swedish Democrats are almost 30%, third largest party. I think it was the second largest. They've exploded in 20 years, and that's really a shame because they're fucking stupid. That's what they are. So let me see.
Huh.
Yeah. So if we take care of even the what I was saying is that they don't want us to import unproductive people, right?
Yep.
For the minus net. But I mean, you're
It's
not
about
going to get the doctors either, right?
well, the thing is,
They're going to go to
the thing
Belgium
is
or
for me,
whatever.
even if you take those people, right? If you give them a more
Uh-huh.
stabilized situation, give them a little bit better education, right? Let's say you spend that money on them right now, but later in life they
Mhm.
become like the best builder, the best car mechanic, whatever the fuck, and they become a huge net positive because now they own a business and they pay taxes all the time. They do this like you might lose money in the first 5-10 years on this person, but you long
Yeah.
term they will be a net positive if you give them the stability that they need. Because that's most people. That's all they need is a stability. If you live in a chaos house or you live in a
Yeah.
chaos neighborhood or schooling or whatever the fuck, it's gonna be hard to thrive. But when you give them a little bit of structure and you give them a little bit of help and this, people tend to do better, and which will be better for
Yeah,
society as a
definitely.
whole.
Th- That is the basic premise behind investment, social investing.
Yep.
And it's supposed when they built societies, I guess it does,
Yep.
and even welfare. But then we got in Sweden, we call it free healthcare, but obviously it's tax paid,
Yep.
so
For sure. Yeah.
it's not free. It's not fucking free,
Yeah.
right?
It comes out of your check. That's
The
right.
Americans always talk about our free healthcare. Hey, we pay for it.
I know.
Oh, but you got such high taxes. Yeah, but can you pay for a couple of
A doctor visit, whatever.
so like a dollar is times 10 for us. So I'll call it a couple of 100,000 then. It's a million. It's millions for us, million Swedish crowns,
Yep.
because we haven't joined the euro. We said
Fuck
we
'em.
would like 20 years ago, but we haven't done it yet.
Fuck them.
Yeah, we got lots of those exceptions that people apply for all the time for the EU. So we got this. One of the things we got is the chewing tobacco. Almost, you put it under your lip, and it's nicotine, and it's not supposed to be allowed for the EU, but we got it approved for because the Swedish culture thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me, but
No.
and even and then you say the vapes and shit that comes in, and the snus, the snuff. They say you can't have it taste like candy and shit because
Yeah.
it'll get people addicted.
We're starting to do that too now.
Doing it or preventing it, restricting it.
Restricted. A lot of places are now starting to cut
Yeah.
back on like flavored vapes and flavored shit.
And Americans don't like that.
No, we hate it. I mean, I don't personally mind it, but yeah, people in general hate that kind of shit.
I mean, should we allow stupid people to vote? When will it come to a time where I'm considered the stupid one, right?
That's why you don't
that's
do
what
it.
I call the
Yeah, that's why you don't
the
like.
dilemma
In
or
theory,
the
I would
paradox
love for
democracy.
a voting like test, but if you do that, then people are gonna use it against you. That's always a problem.
Indeed, we got that. We share that notion.
Yeah, because like I said, I do agree. Like, dude, like I always like in America, I feel like if you could pass a basic civils test, if you could tell me what the three branches of government are, what they do, I think you can vote. Because most people here can't do that, and it's really simple. Like it's not hard to do. But you
Why?
can't do it.
Judicial system, the fucking
It's the courts,
statesman
legislation.
and the military. Is the military one
No,
part?
it's
by the
the
way?
executive. Executive owns the military. Executive is a president. So the president owns the military, the DOJ, all that other shit. Yeah, it's three branches, and they all, like I said, one's the court, one's the right, one writes the law, one enforces the law. That's what it does. Like it's three equal branches. But like now in America, people are kind of all say, "Fuck the judicial." It's like, dude, you know that's like 1/3 of the government. Like, you can't just say fuck that. You know, like the executive doesn't own the whole government. The government is not owned by the person. That's an oligarchy / dictatorship, kingship, whatever you want to fucking call it. Like, no, we have three separate equal branches. And here we, like I said, we have people fighting over the other branches not having too much power. Basically, it's like they can't have too much power. They have equal amount of power. It's frustrating.
It is weird. We got this. So I've been studying organizations history, of course, for my education,
Mm-hmm.
and I've learned lots of things, both from the U.S. and the European labor market and history. So I like telling the story about how we got where we are, where we are. It's like let me see. Organizations, right? So and we had the farmers in the early 19th century, we call it, right?
Yep.
The 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
In Sweden, they started to reform. So instead of strips of farming land that the community shared, like you have every 20 families, and you have every 20th row, right,
Mm-hmm.
in the same fields, and then you go away and you have every 20th row. That's a protective system, because if one field freezes over, you'll have just as much as the other farmers. Yeah. But what the state did was effectivize this, like in 1826 or something like that. So people started moving around. They got land from the government, from the state. This was like after the French Revolution and shit, and we had our king couldn't produce an heir or something, and it was too old, and we got this Napoleon general,
Okay.
uh, who became our king. I don't even know if he spoke Swedish. I think it was Bernadotte, French name, and our king, our monarchy is still named Bernadotte to this day. But they don't have any political power, but they're still a big influence, and they have welfare, and they got this appanage, we call it, their funding for all the causes and everything they do, the representation. And like if China comes here, or Japan,
Yeah.
they love to speak to the prime minister, the minister of state. I mean, we don't have a prime minister. Instead, we have the king,
Yep.
the monarch. But he doesn't have the political part, but he's still a representative. It's weird, but
it's kind of like
he's a cool
England.
guy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, so what they did was the party system started to get stronger, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and but the problem is, when people got their own farmland, shit hit the fan over the next 50 years, and people who couldn't. There were years of famine later in the 1800s, and over several years. And when you can't compete because you have one type of crop, and not everyone is built to be a farmer, but they got the land right,
Mm-hmm.
the land rights from the state and all that. So Sweden just moved around. People just moved around, had to build this a new country. Like over there, you got all these houses, a couple of 100 meters, 100 yards from each other, and they all had their pieces of lands, right?
Yep. Yeah. The
But it didn't
farmlands.
work, and it was supposed to be effective, of course, but depending on the crops, right? So we had a couple of years of famine, and like 1 million Swedes moved to America.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot when we were 4 million, I think. So
Did you have more
that's
land?
quite a lot.
Did you have more land?
More land here.
Yeah. When you have 4 million people, was it more land or just the same amount of land, just more dense?
Uh, I can't grasp exactly what you're saying. I mean, they were already overpopulated for the amount of resources we managed to grow, I think.
Okay.
So we didn't. The people who were left, the 3 million who were left, weren't prosperous right off the bat. But I
No.
mean, of
Yeah.
course, it were less mouths to feed. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that works. It's not like a Thanos Marvel
Mm-hmm.
shit where you just erase half and it works. But after a couple of years, I mean, the crops were back to normal. So
Makes sense.
that would have worked anyway. So we don't know, but it was like 3 years or something. It was chaos. People ate belts and grass and shit like that.
Yeah.
Everything they had.
Yeah. Actual
That's
horrible
fucking nuts,
famine.
dude.
Yeah. Years, for years. And people died, of course, even though they weren't. There wasn't a pandemic even.
No.
So that's what they did, and of course during this time, later 1800s, all these people's movements came about. That's where we started. I don't know how it is in other countries, but that's when we were starting to get industrialized, because we were still early 1900s one of the poorest countries in Sweden, in Europe. Yeah,
We started
because
industrializing,
of
I
our
think, in the
climate and our
1820s, 1830s, probably when America, at least the North in America, started industrializing then.
yeah, we got some railroads and we had lots of timber and mines in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we did good. We had exports and stuff, and we got some inventors. I mean, we got Nobel, right? he he famously regretted inventing dynamite, nitroglycerin or something.
Yeah.
But we got shit tons of inventors from Sweden and innovations and all that. So
You guys are thinkers.
what happened was, yeah, it turned out to be, anyways. That was our role, because countries like China, who have an overpopulation, can exploit the weaker. So I think this is the reason why Sweden became how we are today, because so many people moved out. I think this is fundamental to uh, why we didn't become China, like other countries.
Yep.
Um, and the people who are left really, I mean, it starts an empathetic movement, right? So all these people movements, the soberist movement, because people were drinking all over. We could, what do you call it? They could make alcohol from potatoes,
Yep.
and potatoes was a new thing, right, in 1800s, I think.
Vodka. Yep. Smirnoff.
Yeah. So people were drinking a lot, and there were these religious movements, and not all of them were allowed in Sweden. We were restrictive, so we were less democratic than other countries at the time, even.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so lots of those moved away to the U.S.
Were you guys always
Missionary.
Have you guys always been very atheistic or secularist?
No, it came around this time, I think,
Okay,
when
so
the king and religion split and all that.
okay,
So,
so it's a newer
over the
thing.
1800s.
Okay.
Yeah, earlier 1900s, I think.
Okay.
It went away even more. So yeah, it was. I think it was illegal to not have work, and it was illegal to not be. It might have been. You had these tests, right? They were sanctioned, of course, in Sweden as well. If you didn't know the text, the quotes from the Bible, shit like that.
Yeah.
So what we did was over the 1800s, we're teaching people how to read. We had these folk universities, folk schools, traveling around and built in the countryside all over, and started to get educated. And I think it started before the famine time, but I mean it exploded afterwards, because that's when the Social Democratic Party really. I mean, we wanted to say the Workers' Party. So then there's the shift between the farmers and the workers, because somehow that wasn't the same thing. And for 100 of years, for almost like 50 or 100 years, they were the same party, most of it. People cooperate, parties cooperate anyways. But what happened during the time was the wars didn't completely obliterate Sweden. The 50 years that followed, all these social improvements, the folk education, and people learning that they were you could have a say if you organized, right? The started labor unions. So
No, I'm talking right now.
well,
Ow.
we're done.
Yeah, you're good.
That's good. You just stop me anytime if you like, but I think this is fundamental. This is what I try to tell everyone because it teaches people to be more humble. I think this is like the story of why Sweden became a fucking mess today, but we're still Sweden, and it's still better than a lot of alternatives.
Yep.
So, and people don't know what Swedish is, and Swedish is social democracy.
Yep.
And it is also a liberal way of cooperation and international. I mean, the protectionism is things like the tariffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had those as well. Every country had those before the wars, the Great Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had those because we couldn't import. They couldn't undercut us. Move here and work for cheaper. Stuff like that.
Yep.
As they have over the 100 years, and also in the U.S., of course. You got the Mexicans. You got the part Finnish, Croatian people come over there, steal your free time.
Yep. Yeah, it's nothing. Every country probably has their version of that issue. The thing is, again, like if people are coming to work and be good people for your society or whatever, I don't know why you'd want them not there. That's always my thought.
Because people don't trust that the taxes are going in the right to their benefit. They don't believe that the taxation system works.
I know.
They believe that other people
are stealing.
Won't invest money in the party. Yeah, but I mean, but if you're ill, you get to go to the hospital, right? You have the school system. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Where else do you want to be money to be invested? I don't know.
Yeah,
people don't understand. They have no idea about how the system works. Like you were saying, they should learn about the branches, right?
I tell this guy that comes to my bar, he has no kids, and he's always like, I don't know why I got to pay for fucking kids to go to school. I don't even have any fucking kids. All this, dumb shit, right? And I try to explain to him, like, the kids that you're paying for are the ones that are going to build and create your next iPhone or your next big breakthrough. It's from these kids that you're paying for to do these things. Like, they benefit society. The things that you enjoy in society that we're doing right now is from the kids that you paid for. Did you
pave the road you drove up on?
Right?
Did you build your car?
The car, everything. I'm just saying, like that's why I hate when
people. Who made your
people
fucking
always like,
shoes?
I hate to pay
Who
for
made
this
your
shit.
clothes?
Yeah, so I'm like, I hate these people. It's like, dude, no, dude. If you hate these people, these are the people that make your life easier in every way around you, without you realizing it. It's one of those, like, I feel like you don't miss your arm until you have no arm, right? Like, you don't appreciate the things that you have until you miss it, right? Well, these people don't appreciate that the people that they're helping pay for and do stuff is making their life in so many ways so much easier, but it's so small and nuanced that they don't realize it is easier until one day they miss it. They're like, oh man, I really wish I could have this thing that I used to have, but it's gone now. That's what's going to happen to people.
This is exactly what I think. What I think I described around the years of the famines, right? And people started realizing, holy shit, I'm never gonna see my relative again.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Like that. I think that made Sweden a more humble people. That's why we came together and started all these organizations and labor unions and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And we got women's voting rights in 1920, so that was later than many other countries.
We're about the 20s too, I think, actually,
even
for us, for America. I think it was like 22.
Stuff like that. So the wars came. We had to let the Germans through on the railways to get our iron and stuff like that. We could have tried, but we had nothing. We weren't a rich country either. They didn't bomb us because they wanted our iron. So the thing about Sweden's neutrality is a myth, but it's also, we did what we could, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to blame them, but it's also like,
you said, it's not
the
perfect.
people who claim that Sweden. So I'm not going to say Sweden was neutral, and the ones who are saying Sweden has been neutral for 200 years, has avoided war for 200 years, I think those are hypocrites.
Yeah,
and those are the people who make.
Well, they don't understand. They don't understand, like, the actual
even social democrats.
Yeah, like I said, that's it's like people now, like
even leftists,
people always want
social democrats
can
say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying people can't. People
So
want
that
simple
makes
answers to
people
simple
not trust
things and
each other.
complex things. These things are complex. Like you don't have to have like an outright war to be like fighting people or war. And you know, like even if you are, they usually call them like skirmishes or something. Like oh, it wasn't a war. It was just a skirmish. We had like a
Sweden
7 day
has been
fight.
producing weapons and ammunition for 100 years, and we were famous for it.
I know.
We export tons of weaponry. Killed I don't know, millions
Yeah,
of innocent people, even because that's collateral.
at least millions probably.
Well, innocent and collateral are two different words. They can't be both,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
or can, depending on how you frame it, right?
I would say.
So,
I would say
so that's
collateral's more.
that left us. You know what they say in the Israel, like on the Gaza, they say that that's why people want to bomb Gaza, because a couple of them are brought up saying that all the people, including the babies who are living in occupied land, are a warring individual, a warring party.
Yep.
Even the babies, yeah, they're occupying our space. They're warring. They're a warring entity.
Yep.
That baby over there, yep, that's a war. That's a soldier,
That's what.
free
That's
to
what.
shoot
That's what
under
Trump's saying.
international law.
That's what Trump's saying about Latino people too. They're all fucking terrorists. They're all fucking trying to take everything. They're all rapists and all this. Like every one of them, every single one of these people are all scum of the earth. You know, like there's not one good one. Like that's
That's
the
the
thing.
same thing we talked about
When you trick
before with
people
the
into
Hells
thinking
Angels mentality.
it's
The
fear.
Hells Angels and billionaire mentality,
It's
the same
fear
thing.
based. They run off fear, and maybe not the people running it, but the people. Their message to people is fear based. So then they get the cult following of being like, I can't. I need someone to protect me. I need someone to have my back. I need someone to do what I can't do, and all this kind of dumb shit. Instead of thinking like, no, dude, it's all just fear based, fear mongering tactics all the time.
So after the wars, we were great because our iron industry and everything we had going for us, and our information technology, of course, uh, was not blown to smithereens. Is a wonderful expression.
Hmm.
So that's how we came on top of Europe, of the entire of Europe almost. All countries were destroyed pretty much in some way or another. Um, and the Eastern European countries were they were corrupt because Soviet Union was still ruining everything for them, hustling the money up to Russia. To even though they're communist, right? They were supposed to be. This is the thing. I'm saying no country has ever tried true communism or Marxism or anything because there have always been corruption in those systems. So when right-wing people, like some people in America, just a couple of them, are saying that even talking about communism, saying that Sweden are socialists and socialists are communisms, or they're mixing up the terms fascism and socialism. This isn't an ideal system that has been tested anywhere. There's always been corruption, which means it truly wasn't. So there's nothing to go by. There has been no true communist. We call it a communist, but it wasn't. The thing. It was like the thing, but it wasn't the thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm.
Well,
That's what I'm always saying.
So
a lot of people frame the USSR as state capitalism, which kind of makes sense
Yeah.
to me, you know. And it's never been like a control of the people. It's always been some dictator that was, you know,
the problem is
some
I always tell you,
particular
Brandon,
order.
that there's always going to be people that are the cult follower or leaders. Like, it's going to be almost impossible to get everybody to be on the same page of like thinking and feeling and whatever, because someone's always going to fucking be like, I know.
Well, there's progress though. That's how
progress.
it is. It's
Yeah,
progress.
you can always get better at it.
I've got, I think, 1 minute left of this story.
Go on.
There's a lot to go through, of course. Like, I'm gonna say, back. If we back up to the early 1800s, when they had to split up and run farms on their own everywhere, far from all the other farms. That's when these expressions came up to build the character. Like I don't know what you call them in America. In America, we say like every man is his own best smith or something like that.
Yeah.
Touche.
Like strongest, yes, strongest. Alone is strong. Like expressions like
I
that.
call it culture.
And we have
American
shit tons of those
culture.
expressions.
It'd be like Swedish culture.
Yeah, yeah, you have this stiff upper lip is the American cool or sociological expressions say almost the same thing, and that's closely related to stoicism, right?
Yep.
You're not supposed to show emotions and shit.
Yeah, the stoic
So-
fucking quiet guy.
Lots of those things popped up in the 1800s too, and also this old religious thing. This one expression. I'm just gonna mention this one. It's shoemaker. Your stay at your shoemaking tools. It works better in Swedish, but you know what I mean. You're put on this earth to do this thing.
Yeah, do it.
Do that.
Yep.
Don't cause trouble for society.
Yep.
Yeah. And your kids are going to be that, and you do the same thing. So that's
It comes down to it's all about choice. Like as long as I have the choice to be great at something, like I shouldn't have like this. Like if I was like the best carpenter and the state made me be carpentry stuff, I guess I'd be more pissed than just doing it because I love it or want to or whatever, you know, like.
This is what I thought these later 1800s unionizing and folk education groups were like a reaction of, because people weren't making it.
Mhm.
So obviously they had to group up even more, and they couldn't trust religion. They couldn't trust the church to save them.
Yep.
So that I think that's, I've mentioned a couple of reasons why Sweden reacted the way they did, sociologically. Holy shit!
Yep.
But then this, just one more minute, because that's the funny background of, that I think is important to understand about people, about psychology.
Yep.
But then we got actual the country of Sweden, and our business, and that we weren't bombed. So our labor unions were really strong because they could always promise work. We had everything going for us until the 60s and 70s, when the rest of Europe had built. And then they'd built modern factories, more modern than ours, like built in the 20s, 30s, or even earlier, because they had to rebuild everything. So obviously they had newer factories and newer technologies, and so selling our steel and coal and whatever we had, resources, timber, suddenly people were doing this shit. I mean, in every European country, we're back on track, basically. So our services and our resources wasn't going the same, what do you call it, retail. We couldn't sell it for the same amount anymore. And people were losing their job, even though they were in the unions. So that people started to lose faith in the unions. People were dropping out. And what happened in the 80s is, and people were pissed, but they don't understand that it's not the unions' fault, that other countries are catching up, and you're not progressing, and you're not the innovators. You're just a worker. You're not helping, but
Yep.
instead you're just angry. And that's what builds these people, the right-wingers, people that are angry because things are out of their control, right?
Always.
Sociologically, it's super simple to understand if you know the background. And also, what I said, same as with the Social Democratic Party, has become more academic and appeals more to academics, which is the problem because it's supposed to be the workers' party, right? People need to relate to the people who are in charge. But if they're only lawyers and shit, or statesmen, I mean, that's the perfect education for them, but nobody's going to understand their language or empathize with them. So that's a big problem for the Social Democrats today, and we can't run our ideology. So what I say is I support probably 50% of the shit they say in Stockholm, but it's not all. It's a lot of
Nuance.
it's a lot of agreeing with. Yeah, it's a lot of you have to cooperate with other parties
Well, yeah,
and change shit up.
we got to change. Like I
So
think
in the
changing
eight,
things is like evolution. It's
yeah.
slow. You got to change one thing, one at a time, to get the big change you want later.
I'm not sure how it went in the rest of Europe, but I think it's pretty much the same story. Because in the 80s came new public management,
Mm.
and I don't know what went in the US. It should have been much earlier, right? You didn't have our system at all.
80s, we had Reagan, so that's like the beginning of our downfall.
Okay. So new public management was sell things like the railroad, like rent out part of it uh, to companies, stuff like that, and even the post office and stuff like that. And now we have the post every third day, and the post office doesn't even want to deliver mail because it's not profitable in Sweden. That's fucking crazy.
That's silly.
Yeah. So these smaller gig companies are popping up like Uber, and I think even Uber is and similar companies are delivering mail, simple mail, because the post office.
Post office won't do it.
Because the post office is paying them to do it for cheaper than the post office could do it for themselves.
That's
This is sick. This is
so
a
funny.
market within the
That
market.
is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
That's
That's
the
what's
thing.
happening in Sweden.
I know that means
That
like
shouldn't be happening in. That's not Sweden. It's not Sweden anymore. Get it? Like that's what happened over 45 years now, right? So that's where we are today. I think. I think I told you lots of shit over an hour, right? But
yeah,
I think
that's
you
crazy.
got pretty
Like,
much the entire. I think you got quite a good grasp if you heard anything I
what's
said.
happening? Yep. Well, I mean, honestly, so
Yeah,
I feel like that happens like
that's
in every
Sweden
country.
today.
Don't excuse. I bet. I mean, there is some. I'm not saying there is none. It's just the levels he's saying is not as much. But like, it is stupid when you hear stories like that where it's like you have to go through 4 hoops to get this one thing done. It's like, why don't we just cut it all out and save everybody money? Like, I could pay less in taxes. We don't need to give the depart what's it called, the post office as much money so they can just do it themselves instead of having to pay someone cheaper to do it. You know, like that's just.
I mean, a free market is chaos, right? It is.
It is free
It's the
market.
survival of the fittest.
Yep,
Yeah,
I get that.
but we don't. No country actually has a free market,
Not
so
totally.
no one can act. This is the same thing I said about communists before. So I mean, this is a thing to say. So if I could say a free market is chaos, but how would I fucking know that when no country on earth ever, or no civilization in on earth ever over our 100,000 history has had free trade? Because people have always been cooperating, even the collectivism, tribalism in 100 years ago, 100,000 years ago. Everyone always had a say in the community. Oh no, we're not gonna trade our rocks of flint or our leather away.
Yep.
They have these small rules in the community. Yeah, no single individual, unless you're a corrupt oligarch. What do you call them?
Dictatorship.
A despot. Yeah, exactly. Has had the possibility to do that, but none has been omnipotent, right?
Nope.
So there is no actual free market, and there never were, and all opinions about it are purely theoretical, hypothetical. So even if I say I believe a free market is chaos, so I believe in regulation, but I also believe in credentials
Yep.
ruling this. And this is we get Google. You look up a restaurant, right? or a taxi service or whatever,
Whatever, yeah.
and you choose how do you know that's not being manipulated?
It is technically it's whoever pays the most money
Yeah,
gets the highest.
yeah.
I know.
So what's the state? State is supposed to be representatives. It's supposed to be built and decided upon by the people, at least in a democracy.
Yeah. I feel
Where
like
is our Facebook? Where when did Sweden ever develop its own Facebook social media site where we could feel safe? They didn't.
I
They
know.
should. They should. There should be a messaging app that isn't just a phone company. In all countries, it's national security, as far as I'm concerned. Of course, China will hack into it, but fuck them.
Right. That's the thing. Nobody
At least it's
cares.
something. At least it's regulated. And at least you use your bank ID, we call it, for bank services and logging in on stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be much better than Facebook selling all our information. Even if they don't identify us by name, they have information points.
They got everything
Someone
on
from
you,
this
dude.
phone at this time at this location, hundreds and thousands of points, information points, coded on me, and they can fucking find out if they want to, but nobody is actually doing that because it's big data.
If you become a criminal, the only time they will is if you become a criminal. Like if you become an actual criminal, then they'll look through all your fucking history of everything.
Yeah. They
And
can do that
and
easy.
they'll know everything. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
And if they find my Google Drive, they will find all of my calls for 10 years.
yeah, no, you said that. That's crazy.
Good luck listening to that shit.
Good luck.
Had the Winter Wars, they sent. Had the Winter Wars, they sent. Had the Winter Wars, they sent. Third, fourth, fifth generation now, obviously.
I was say, when did you guys split up from being part of Finnish or Finnish Swedish? When did you guys split up?
Oh no, the Finnish, it was in the 1800s, something early 1800s,
Okay.
but they don't speak the same kind of Scandinavian language either. Like Danish and Norwegian are quite similar,
Mm-hmm.
but the Danish sound like they're drunk all the time. We sound like this all the time.
The
This is
goddamn
why I like
Dutch.
listening to Danish people. Yeah, we used to be
Yeah.
like this.
I know
It's fucking insane.
you've seen fucking Austin Powers the third
And
one,
the
right?
Norwegian people, they speak like this all the time. You know, they speak like this.
And he shot
And
on
it's
a
kind of.
bridge.
And the Swedish, they speak like this, almost like Italian, but we don't.
Right.
Not quite like the Italian.
I'm about to
Many people speak like this when they speak English.
I'm going to Italy in
Yes.
75 days.
Oh, cool.
I'm taking a vacation to the Mediterranean. So, be my first time ever leaving America.
Cool. Yeah, I never left Europe. I went to Greece. Cyprus is
Cyprus.
further south,
Yep.
below Turkey.
Yep. I know Cyprus is.
And I went to Spain.
Spain.
I went to
that's where I'm
Romania because I had a girlfriend, an online girlfriend, who I visited when I was 20. I went to Romania for a month.
How far is
We met in a youth. Romania is like half of Europe on the right side,
Yep,
on the east side.
Do you fly or you take a train? Do you have trains that go there?
Yeah, no, I took two. It stopped in Poland and Warsaw,
Okay.
and it went over close to where she lived. Well, we met. That was when I was 19. When I was unemployed the first time there.
Yep.
I was part of this youth. We were looking for a job where we were also helping other people apply for European voluntary service, stuff like that. And I was away for a week in Poland for a youth exchange, a cultural event, and I met her. So when I was done with my military service, I went over there for a month. And of course, it didn't last because at 20, I had no money.
All right. Was she older or younger?
So, no, she was like a year or two younger.
Okay, same age basically. Then okay. Let's say like if you went there,
Yeah.
you like you're dating with like a grown woman, and then fucking if you're 20, you have no money. She's like, bitch, get the fuck out of here.
I had to break bread with her father and he put salt on it, and we drank. And I wasn't soberest, but still am. But
Yeah.
I can take a few beers.
Yeah.
But and I had to drink. It's called plum liquor or something like that. It was fucking awful.
Really?
But it was his initiation rites
That's so
for
funny.
me.
Well, hey man, that's like
Yeah, and I had
Game of Thrones, salt and bread, right?
I had even longer hair by then.
Mm.
Back then, I cut my hair like when I was 26 or something, short,
That's funny.
and then I just saved it out again now when I turned 40,
Mm.
and it's quite long now.
I grow my hair out
It's,
for the winter, and
I
then
was
I shave in
missing.
the summer.
So having short hair for 15 years, it felt like it doesn't matter. But I do miss the long hair. I don't have to have it. It was part of my identity for like 15 years, like from when I was 12 or something up to 20, 26.
Right?
And I wasn't really a rocker. I was just I listen to pop like anyone else. I'm just a what do you call it? A polymath, I guess.
Yeah, you're a thinker. You just try to think and try to fucking figure things out.
Yeah, and I like all kinds of genres. So
I like, yeah.
that's also why I was finding a difficult time fitting in different groups,
Yeah.
and also why I always could fit in to
Anywhere.
groups.
Yep.
I was always I was a floater.
Yep. That's what I was in high
No one
school
could
too.
no one
In high school, I
listen to
hung out
this.
with everybody. I'd hang out with goth kids. I'd hang out with sports kids. I'd hang out with the fucking artist
Yeah,
kids. You know, because I basically like
yeah,
if my class was over here, I'd hang out in that area, and I'm like, oh, you guys are a group of kids that are pretty cool that we could talk to and blah blah blah. I didn't give a fuck. You know, like didn't have to be any kind of anything. It was just you guys are cool people. I'm gonna hang out with you, like and
and
whatever.
nobody actually hated me, right? Because that was always good, well intentioned.
Yeah,
Everyone knew that he's not here to cause trouble. Yeah,
yeah.
sure. He's not a communist like we are in
Hmm.
the left party. I met the left party leader once because she came to one of those gatherings, and I followed my friends there. It was cool, like the Swedish left party
Okay.
leader one. So I followed all these crazy people. We call them the aesthetics, the aesthetic program, like dance and arts. Um, Most of those were really leftist, right? And I also followed uh, some right people, right, to listen to really fucked up shit. It's weird. That's what I say. Some of the people I like to get to wrap my head around what type of person they are before I get into deeper, because some people
Can't handle it.
uh, they can't handle that I don't hate leftists or that I don't hate the right wings.
Hmm. See, like, I
So
don't
I need
hate
to
them.
know.
I just hate the idea. Like, I always just tell people, like, I just try to point
Yeah,
out the hypocrisy. So, like, this, like I said, this one guy I talked about, he's always about like anti-corruption, anti-corruption. I'm like, well, this is corruption on your side, and then he's like, well, you guys do it first. I'm like, okay, even if that's true, that's fine. But you're still saying that your side is doing something corrupt, right? And that's you should. Why don't you talk shit about this too? Like, it should be all the corruption, right? Both sides, it
yeah.
don't matter, right? You know, like everybody should have fucking. You should talk shit about anybody with the same principle. If you have a principle of this, then call it
Uh,
out. Why are you selectively calling
that's the
things
same
out?
thing about same thing about Sweden not being neutral.
Hmm.
Sweden was never neutral.
No.
We just were neutered. That's a big thing.
Yeah. But like I said, I bet like if you
Uh,
go to like a history, it's probably like skirmishes or like they don't call them like wars or anything. You know, they.
Swedish officially have been neutral for 200 years. Haven't been in a war for over 200 years.
Mm,
Uh, but we have sent peacekeeping forces,
yeah.
and we have joined in
With NATO.
operations. But
With NATO.
that's yeah. No, not
Not
NATO,
NATO.
because we just joined
Oh, okay. You just.
the FN, the UN,
Yeah,
the
UN. That's
United
what I meant to say.
Nations.
Yeah, United Nations. That's what I said. Not NATO. Yeah, UN. Yeah, that's what I meant to
We
say.
call it the FN. It's Förenta. It's the same thing. Union. Oh,
That's funny. Apparently, you
I
got...
can't hear what you're talking about, but that's okay.
No, that was my girlfriend. Her friend just came back from. She went to Ireland and stuff, so she brought her back smokes and all this stuff.
Cool. Ask if they want to know something about Sweden.
I would, but I don't have more headphones.
Okay.
No, dude, I love it. Like I said, I am a big fan of history, and I love trying to talk to people from other parts of the world.
I
and
love
stuff
fucking too.
Right? Just fucking getting different perspectives and everything is such a enlightening thing because, like reading about something in history is different than hearing about it from somebody who actually like has more like knowledge in it. Go the ins and outs of it.
What is your name, Dank-sided? By the way, I can't remember if you said
I'm Wally.
Wooly.
Yeah.
Is that short for Wallace or William?
Walter.
Or Will.I.am? Walter. Sir Walter Scott.
I like Sir Walter
Brett
White.
Scott.
Sir Walter White of House Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah. Walter. We have one of the Skarsgård. The family.
Yep.
Skarsgårds.
Mm-hmm.
One was Tarzan. One is It.
Yep.
One was in the Vikings.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shows.
The young. So the second youngest is called Walter, and he's about to be one of the famous crime detectives. I think in Swedish detective movies history. They're young. They're like 25 something. They always come up because their father Stellan Skarsgård became a international star in the 80s, 90s. I think he was in their father Stellan Skarsgård. He was in the Thor movies, like the
Yep.
Norwegian scientist or whatever. But he was also in Good Will Hunting, I think, with Robin Williams and Matt Damon.
He's the teacher. He's awesome. I like him.
Yeah,
he's in Andor too. The Star Wars.
Oh yeah. And he's Baron Harkonnen in Dune.
Yes, yeah.
Actually, he suffered a stroke. He suffered a stroke 2 years ago.
Right.
He's in his 70s now, I think. Yeah, suffered a stroke 2 years ago, and so he's got help. I think he's got earpieces with people helping him with his lines. But he's a fucking Swedish movie icon.
Hell yeah, dude. He's awesome.
That's for sure.
That is awesome. I keep forgetting that that's his daddy or part of the family.
I think it's a Norwegian last name, Skarsgård.
So what did Sweden do during World War II then? Because you're saying they stayed out of the war. Like, did they just let people take their land?
No, intelligence. I don't know. We cooperated with the British, of course, with Alliance.
Okay.
We ran intelligence through Finland and Norwegian. My grandma was born in the 30s, and she was a kid by that time. Yep. And she told us how they were. She lived at the Norwegian border and how they smuggled, not just Norwegians, but also German soldiers who defected. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not everyone was in favor, right? But there was a lot of intelligence work done by Sweden. We also had radar systems, right?
But
Stuff like that.
Like to me, like, don't you guys have a lot of resources? That's why I was thinking, like, didn't like Nazis or Russia or somebody try to take over you guys during that time frame and try to like?
Yeah. No, they did. They got tons of it. That's why we weren't bombed.
Okay, that's why you say
because we were. Yeah.
I got you. Now it makes more sense. That's what I was saying. Like, dude, you guys have a lot of things.
We would just say we are going to bomb our own railways, and you're not going to get part of. That could have saved the war a couple of years.
Yeah.
If they couldn't get our northern iron and the minerals and
like I said,
shit like that.
I remember watching
that might have actually saved the war a couple of years. Which is pretty hypocritical for a peaceful country like Sweden, right?
Yeah.
Who are only making weapons, by the millions each
Mhm.
year. It's not too far away. It's 1.5 hours away. We have our Nobel, where Alfred Nobel
Mhm.
at his factory. Well, they call it the Nobel, anyways.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called. It's also part about Saab. It's a car manufacturing company before.
Yep.
Also,
Sab or whatever. Yep.
air. Yeah, and we call them lorries. Lastkraftwagens in German. That's trucks, I
Yeah.
guess.
Trucks.
And they made air stuff as well
Okay. Yeah.
from the start. So they stopped being a car manufacturing company, I think. I mean, we got shit tons of companies, and the shared ownership is, of course, not only Swedish anymore. A lot of Germans, and the top of many European countries, biggest companies. The Jews, the
Oh no.
Germans,
Oh
are
no.
buying the companies in Sweden. Nine.
9. Oh no. That's too
Uh,
funny.
I asked the German. This is classic. I asked the German guy once if he knew what number came after 8, and he told me no.
I know. What a fucking asshole.
Yeah, no, 9.
9.
Sorry,
That's so funny.
I took German for like 5-6 years, but
My dad's pretty fluent in German. His dad, so like my grandpa was the first baby born in America from that side, which is German, and that side, whatever, right? And when World War II hit, when he got enlisted or whatever, because he got whatever, got selected,
Mhm.
they forced him to fucking fight in the Pacific part of the war because they were afraid that he would switch over to
Yeah,
the German side.
I see, yeah.
They're like, "Oh, we're not sure if you're allegiant to America yet, so you fight the Japanese people.
This is
You don't
weird.
fight Germans."
We have an artist, like a funny rapper guy in Sweden
Hmm.
who 25 years ago, I guess he was in his 20s. He was called back. I think he was 22, 23, 24 even. He was called back to Finland because he didn't do his military service. But if he lives in Sweden for a couple of years and he just bailed out of Finland, so he went back and did it for a couple of months. But that's crazy. Are you gonna if Finland is going to war? Do you think they can get him to go back and fight for them?
Maybe.
Like, what's the point? What's the point? I had people from the Balkans. One guy who was a Somali. Holy shit! His head was so thin. None of the
Right.
helmets worked for him.
Fit.
Yeah. So like several people in the military training who said straight up, "I won't ever go to war for Sweden. I won't ever fight for Sweden." I'm thinking, why did none of those? Uh, so it's mandatory, but it's also and it's difficult to get out. But it was so few of us got in that year. Like the last year was like one more year of conscripts. Why do they take who the fuck selects these morons who I took the military service with? Who's
Yeah, I had to wait.
okay?
I had to wait like 3-4 months for someone with my size and everything to die, basically, or whatever. To
Okay. I thought
that donated.
if it was a pig, maybe you could apply to be a police officer since
Right?
you're actually
Yeah, that's
already
true. You're
up
not
there.
lying. You ain't lying. However,
You
yeah,
can even yeah.
I'm saying it's crazy. And the thing is, that shit happened to me. Like, so I got my last big surgery. I think it was like 11, 12 years ago. So like, I bet right now, if I were to look up like what it is now, I bet it's even crazier than this now. It's been a decade.
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. You know who got into office almost a decade ago?
Mm, I do know.
uh, well, they said an operation would likely be worse in my case. It It was just cartilage. They thought
Yeah.
would be evened out.
But if you're in the blue zone, it's like a 50-50 chance that it might never grow back again. And therefore, they have to shave it off. And the more you shave, the less help support you have. And then there's like the gray-black zone. If you're there,
Yeah.
your shit's gone. Like all of it's gone. And that's where my shit was fucked. So, yeah, I
You
done
call
a
it
lot of research.
arthritis. If you're older, you call it arthritis.
I already have arthritis, but yeah, I'm not even that old.
Yeah.
But I have it just cause injuries. I went to go jump one day and I couldn't jump. My knee went backwards. It just got stuck.
Ooh. Oh.
But it's all good now. I dealt with that demon a long time ago. It sucked for a minute, but
Hmm.
now that I'm older, I guess I've just learned to accept it. It's like anything else, time.
What
Jeez.
is Brandon doing all this time?
What is Brandon doing?
All the time.
Yeah, what are you being up
He,
to? Are you
he,
like chatting somewhere? Are you masturbating? You
I'm
son of
just
a bitch!
playing a game. I don't know. I don't know. You guys are talking. There's not really any room for me to interject. Just the way it is. I
it's the
say
way
something while he fucking argues with me, so it's like,
I don't argue
the
with
fuck
you.
am I even? What am I around for? Yeah, you do. You argue like right away. It's
What
like
argue about?
sometimes I feel like you're in competition with me for whatever reason.
I didn't. Anytime you've only talked like twice, I thought, but anytime I try to let you talk,
I don't know, man. It's like I can't even get wound up. You know what I'm saying? I don't have people to fucking yap to.
This is a problem. Both my big brother, who has something obviously, and my girlfriend actually. This has come to my attention recently. They, even though I talk over a lot of people, always done since I was a kid. Especially, they need to get. They need to wind up, as you said. I
Yeah.
need to leave longer spaces between my words. And then, if they don't say something, you know what I'm gonna do? Wait longer, which
Wait
is
longer.
torture to me. But just so we're clear, if you need time to wind up, uh,
Oh, it's fine. It's just I
we'll
don't
give
know.
you that. We just I don't know it beforehand. Wally should know it though. You should interject and say, "Hey, Brandon, you have some clever ideas about this."
he always does.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's what they say when they're grumpy.
What?
Oh, it's whatever. I'm not even mad, bro. You're always like this. You never give me room to breathe. Am I even alive? Do you even see me? Are we even friends?
Mm.
Oh, no. The answer is no. You're a ghost. But you're lucky. You're in luck. You're a poltergeist, which means you can fuck things up for the people who never got to who never let you breathe.
Mhm.
Oh, choose your own adventure, man. The man, and in this case, it's
Fucking
me
bird.
because I talk all the time.
Mm.
I need to get reminded. Shut the fuck up.
No, it's
a bit more.
no. I don't know.
I do. That's
Just I don't know, dude. I haven't. I've been like chilling by myself for, like the last I don't know how many months. I don't really
It's been a couple of months at least.
have anybody.
it's
to
been
fucking
2 hours, man. Not all the you
like.
can't blame
It's like
all the
my
time on us.
speech habits have sort of like gone south in a way. Like my involvement in conversations. Dude, this bird just fucking shit on me.
Mm.
Holy fucking shit.
What game are you playing?
Just against the storm game. I was looking for something to do.
That's the building one, right?
Yeah.
Like the societal one, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Mushroom pizza.
What? No.
We're talking about having dinner. What we're gonna do for dinner. I said Dairy Queen, and then I said mushroom pizza, but not the kind of kids can have.
Oh. Well, I can't be having those tonight.
See, you guys all fucking suck. It's my birthday. Nobody wants to do nothing.
I can't eat shrooms tonight. I have kids here.
Ooh.
That's the beauty of having kids. I don't get to have fun like that. Cause I need a whole
So
day.
I'm a sober.
I need like a whole day to do them. Like I need to do them, and then I need like 8 to 10 hours to unwind and get off them.
So I never took any, and but I've been in the room with plenty of people who did
I
one or
bet.
two things.
I bet you laughed
But,
your ass off.
so what
You don't. So you don't have to get like super fucking high. You can just fucking microdose. You'll fucking see benefits for sure.
Yes.
Like it'll
But
probably help your ADHD.
yeah, likely. Some people always, well, many people have all over my entire life asked me why I don't drink until I puke.
That's why I don't
And
drink.
my simple answer is, I think people were fucking idiots. And
I
my
mean,
big brother, so this thing is that my big brother has had an eating disorder, and he was he was 4 years older, and he never drank, and that's likely because he also partly because his friends didn't always drink, and partly because of his eating disorder. So he has this thing like consistency of things.
Hmm.
There was something about it in the chat the other day. I wrote about
oh yeah.
Patrick mentioned something like that. It was like yesterday or 2 days ago.
Hmm.
My big brother had that. And I think that's one of the reasons why he didn't drink. My sister is 6 years old and she drank when she started the university, but not before. And my parents never drank at home, and they divorced at 14. When I was 14, I mean, not at 14 because they weren't even married. But, so yeah, so that's just why I never started. And not having money is one thing, but people are fucking morons, right? And even and I felt outside like a floater, since I was a kid, even younger. So I just thought, why should I conform? I fucking hate
Right.
conforming. So if someone's gonna ask me, I'm just gonna tell them to
If
fuck
you
off.
don't need like something to reduce your inhibitions, what's the fucking point?
Well, I was even more, I guess, wild in my thoughts back then.
Right.
But I wasn't the cool kid either. I was just this guy. I had long hair, and I was nerdy. I played StarCraft and Diablo. Like I wasn't an athlete. I played soccer for a couple of years, but I wasn't a cool kid. I wasn't a pretty kid. I think I grew up pretty fine. I, I always said that. I like myself, but
Right.
I wasn't one of the. I wasn't the girl magnet.
Was it your like DNA or whatever you want to fucking call it? Like, wasn't natural
I
to
don't know.
do these things? I guess.
I just felt I always had to go my own way because people are morons. It's just I just always
Yeah.
felt that people were conforming to the cool kids, and I was like, I'm not like the cool kids. The people who are trying to be like the cool kids aren't like the cool kids. Why are they trying to be like the cool kids? Why are they trying to suck up to the cool kids? Obviously, someone's bigger brother or whatever,
Hmm.
and impressing the girls. And how to impress the girls? You be like someone's bigger brother that's cooler, and the girls like more. It's just social imprint and guessing. Uh, we talked about this 2 hours ago. How we hate theatricals,
Hmm.
and that's
Yep.
also part of why I never started drinking. I'm myself. I'm crazy enough, but I'm rationally crazy, right? That's why I believe in it, anyways. So
Yeah.
I call myself an agnostic. I grew up attending lots of church youth groups. I wasn't religious myself. It was my cousins and my uncle and his wife, and some people from school and friends. But I was invited, right? So I
Yeah.
went for years, even earlier than that, the state church, and then it was the missionary church. Um, but it was never the Catholic church, so it was never the missionary position, right?
Mm. That's when I grew up. I grew up
Mm.
Catholic.
Ah, So you learned the missionary position.
I did.
Oh, oh.
However, yeah.
So that's the weird. We have the Protestant Church for hundreds of years in Sweden, where the Martin Luther said that why does the church go against its what it preaches?
Teaches, yeah.
Why should why should the church have like we call it why do I forget words? When you have one leader again, corruption.
Autocracy, whatever you want to call it, a monarch.
Yeah,
But
something
it's
like
not. Yeah, you're talking about like the Pope. The Pope is the leader of everything, like
that.
the
Yeah,
king
stuff
of
like
all
that.
of us. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't.
Yeah, and the
there's a better.
bishops, and they
He's
have all the gold.
they call him the Vicar of Christ. I don't know what the real name is, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
So he had these theses or something he nailed up in Germany, right? I think it was on the walls, and of course this is politicized, and the kings decided to who wanted to fund his wars, obviously, thought that this is great. But we should have the state should cooperate more with the church. We should be Protestantic, and the state should take over all the funding from the churches, and we should fund our wars instead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happens as well, and drove a lot of those why we weren't Catholic anymore. That's 500 years ago, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it changes a lot. You were talking about your girlfriend's friend who came from Ireland. That's a beast over there.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
I
So-
haven't heard the stories yet, but I'll hear about them soon enough.
We had in work life science in class, we learned about different countries, what people liked, put their faith in and stuff. So we had family, and we had religion, and we had state. Sweden, we obviously put the highest faith in the state, and in some countries that aren't religious, but they can't even put their trust in the state. I don't know, Middle European countries, they turn to family instead, right?
Yep.
So, and even the Eastern Middle Eastern countries,
Yep.
sure they have, but that's more they're forced, right? Their entire countries are forced to be religious, and that's just in their culture.
Yep.
But that doesn't always mean that maybe. Let's see. The countries closest to Russia, like these Baltics countries, Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're not very religious, right? But they also can't trust their governments all the time because they're still influenced by the Soviet Union. Of course, they broke away, but they still had the Cold Wars up till the 90s, and it's still not. I mean, they're pretty similar to Sweden, but not up to standard, of course, because of their history. But the culture is pretty similar, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they put their faith in family, obviously, and they're going on to become more trusting in government. But you just can't go there when you have that history, right, of the Gestapo type shit going on. In Germany, they had, neighbors, family members spying on each other up till the 90s. And the papers were released a couple of years ago, right? I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, can't remember. When they learned who were actually spying on them, their own brother, like, or their neighbor, shit like that. So that's one reason why you can't trust your families, your relationships. So that's why country turns to trust the state instead, because the state will have to keep control of your family members. And you can't trust your religion. Shit like that, wars and surveillance and distrust, power struggles, ideologies, we call them. It just messes with people. Keeps people from being authentic. And this is what Brandon loves to
True.
systemize.
Nice.
I don't know.
I
It
mean,
is important.
I tend to agree with them, though. I mean, I always tell Brandon in general, like there's like you have like three versions of yourself. You have your true self, you have your friend, like your outer group friends, and you have like your girlfriend, like your closest friends. Like they all know different parts of you. Like even though you're the same person, there's three different versions of you almost at all the times.
Definitely. Do you know there are people who don't have that little voice in their heads?
Like monologue.
Those
Inner
are
monologue.
fucking crazy.
What was that,
Yeah.
Brandon?
Yeah. It's like inner monologue.
Well,
Yeah.
your consciousness, I guess you want to call it. Yeah.
No, just like the actual inner monologue. Like if you're thinking, you don't have a voice doing
Oh,
it.
really?
Translating your thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
have one friend who has this condition where she can't see images. It's like
Yeah.
Like no imagination.
so we were in the car. Yeah, yeah. So she has imagination. It's just like it's information based.
Yeah.
No
Like
imagery.
she's like a fucking large language model. It's like
So,
the car is over that building like 100 yards away. The car and the building is 50 yards wide, and so I can predict. Obviously, I see in my head. I see the car moving behind the building. Right, I know where it's gonna go up. I can estimate where it's gonna come out, where the road is ending up, even though it's far away. I think, oh, I bet the car's, and I hold my hand out and I point to the building. I think the car is going right there. In my head, I can see it. Like you hold out your hand, right, and you put it closer to your face. Your eyes are, what do you call it? You see different. You see through your hand
perception,
because,
yeah.
because so that's how I see the car, right? I imagine it kind of like that.
Hmm.
And she said, "No, the car is gone, but it's behind the building.
oh, so she
Nope,
couldn't. Okay, I see.
it's
Yeah.
gone. But the car is, yeah, I know it's there informationally, but it's gone. You can't see the picture. You can't even imagine. Nope. Do you dream? No. She has had one or two dreams, and she thought it was amazing. Like she said she was zooming like in Google Maps in and out, something like that, over the city where we lived. I can't remember. She said she had one or two more dreams. This is that's one of the weirdest conditions I've ever heard about.
What is that called?
Well, it has a name, but it's weird.
I pretty much never dream. Like maybe like 4 times a year, I dream. Well, at least when I
Oh,
remember it.
aphantasia.
Asthmatasia.
Yeah, yeah.
Aphantasia. So like Fantasia, but with A in front of it.
Okay. Aphantasia.
Yeah, I know somebody that has this on Facebook at least. She's got like a bunch of other conditions too. She comments on my shit.
Mm.
Yeah, because she
has
can't
no inner
see,
monologue, and I don't think she sees images either. So
and she
yeah,
doesn't see through your shit either.
That's funny.
she doesn't disagree with me very much.
Is it the lady that I've seen commenting as well? The only other person?
It's Amanda Marie Webster. That's her on Facebook.
Yeah. There you are.
She's got like
There you
like
are.
autistic and like dyslexic and some other things. Like she's
No,
a
okay.
talker, but she's super cool. She's fucking
There's
great.
there's a other lady called Armina Dubur.
Oh, the older lady, yeah.
She says a bit weird stuff as well.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's super cool.
Yeah, seems to be. Oh, what the fuck? Holy shit, you write poetry. Flattened landscape, thou wilt roam. How we dream in monochrome. Forward seem to call me home. Now I find myself alone. First we drink and then we drown. One man's link, another's crown. Woe, wound unto another's round. Drafted by the sirens' sound. See, shit like this. That's obviously made to be poetic, but
Mhm.
for fun, I try to sing out the chats, like in forums or on the polymath group,
Mhm.
it doesn't work because we don't write in the same way as we speak. Just doesn't make sense, and that's I think it's a big problem.
Sorry, are you speak
Complex
or
shit.
what? I mean,
Let me
in
just
general.
let me see if I find something weird. I'm just gonna go up in the polymath group. Here we go, Brandon. Where you go? Here we go.
What?
Brandon wrote, I kind of always knew what people thought or expected negative thoughts to begin with and just wanted to do what I wanted to do regardless. Not wanting to be like the rest was kind of always there for me. Was always made me feel mechanical. Just another rat pulling a lever, which has been to my detriment, lol. I'm Swedish, and now you've heard me speak, and in my American English voice, I get stuck. I'm not American, right? I'm not English, and that's just a problem if you want to read. I don't write. I write the same way. I write. I don't put dots. I don't. So I think I talk without. And I know one girl who until she's out of breath. It's funny. Over my own tonality and I chatted about this with Brandon the other day about how we perceive. So that's why he changed his profile picture, because I said the other picture didn't look it looked more trustworthy. So he changed it. If he writes shit tons of things and he gets one or two comments, isn't it better if more people read his shit? I don't know. If we want to do good in the world, maybe we need to.
You say make short form content kind of thing, because that's how people's fucking minds work, basically.
Yeah, communication. I mean, this is a university program, 3-year university program called communications, and my sister, my kid's sister, she's 23 something, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She took that. It's like a university program in how to where to put the the text on a newspaper and shit like that. Publicist idea,
Like,
and how to write
language
memos,
arts, basically.
like yeah, and how to work as a communicator for public agencies and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I think it's why don't we, who haven't? I mean, I've done. I've had my own education, obviously, in social psychology and all of this, but that doesn't mean I've practiced any of it. I know shit tons of stuff that I should be doing, but I've got my executive dysfunction shit going on, so I need to build a support group as well if I'm gonna get anywhere in my life. If I'm gonna build a career around actually teaching people how to be more thoughtful, humility, stuff like that.
Yep.
So, and how do I do that? Do I do it by keep talking and letting people like Brandon not get any airtime?
Well, my
Or do I do it?
situation's fucking weird, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, I was a blabbermouth like about a year ago, and then now I'm like little bit more hesitant. And I don't know. It's fucking weird. I don't know. I've tried with people, I feel like, and it's like not stuck some things. I don't know. Or like I just don't enmesh with people, and I don't know.
So people think and like open up on basis of identity, and that's you got this thing about ideology, but it's kind of the same. If people are, I often bring up the Thomas theorem, which kind of means that if you expect something, you're going to act in accordance, and you're going to get that result. If I think that my boss is calling me into the office to fire me or to just give me some shit, I'm going to treat my boss worse, which is going to cause my boss to actually give me shit, which wasn't the case to begin with. And the same thing with the partner. If I go up now, she says, "You've been gone for 2 hours." You fucker! I was hungry. You should have. And this is probably
Like
true. I should have gone back
self-profit.
up. Yeah. So,
Like-
but if I don't go up there and start apologizing and start saying, "But you should have,"
It's like
if I don't
it's
cause
like
shit,
speaking into
it
existence.
won't be none. Yeah.
It's one of those situations.
Don't
Yeah,
start
just-
now, won't be none. Yeah.
Self-fulfilling
So,
prophecy. Yeah.
So I think I easily overwhelm people, even my close friends. So I don't know if they're if they're not answering the phone because it's me or because they're busy. I mean, you never know. And my closest friends, we have the deal. Anyways, they know me. They've known me for over 20 years. So
Yeah.
obviously, we have the deal. And it's okay. And many of the friends actually have their own things like depression or I mean, they're on meds, obviously, but and in different cases, like this girl who has temptation, stuff like that. But they can talk to me, right? Because I'm kind and I'm genuine. And yes, sadly, I also I also steamroll people in conversations, but that weighs up because that's outweighed by the fact that I'm also kind, kinda,
Mm.
and a good person generally, and well intentioned. What we have this word in Swedish called a bear favor. Where a bear don't give people a bear favor because a bear giving someone a favor is like really clumsy and it will just turn to shit, right?
Yeah, it's meaningless almost.
I don't know if you call it over there.
Let me think of a good one.
Uh,
Well intentioned to a fault, maybe something like that. But so
we have a thing
yeah,
like
yeah.
don't fool me once, shame on me. Fool you twice, shame on you. We have like that's one of our phrases.
That's
Maybe
one thing.
similar to that. I guess I don't know.
This is about being kind, though. You have good intentions and you're doing what you think is right, but it turns bad because you
Okay.
you did it poorly. Like a bear,
Um,
a bear cooking dinner for you might not go so well.
No.
I don't Or we say like when you're curling kids, when you're not teaching, we call it the curling kids. Like the
Curling
ice
kids?
sports. Yeah, like sports when those blocks on
Oh,
ice.
Oh yeah, the game. Yeah.
Yeah, we call it curling kids. Curled kids. You've been curled, and it's like an insult. That's also a bear favor because the parents
okay.
didn't teach them. They just
Curled. Okay.
yeah, being curled. And it's not like hair curled, but it is spinning around on the ice. Obviously, it's like because the in the sport, right? One of them throws the rock, and the others are brushing the ice to make it go like to melting the ice or something, so it can
Friction. Yeah.
hit the other block the other way. Yeah, and that's what they call it, curling. They make it. They just fit it perfectly, like the rich kids. I mean, so easy. So that's doing a bear favor, and that's pedagogically as well. I know shit tons of things, but I can't just go out and write it. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of videos online from psychologists,
Everywhere.
psychiatrists, philosophers. I mean, TED Talks, and I just want to go out and teach this shit, right? About ADHD, how to organize. But I can't organize myself. I know shit tons about it. So when someone asks me, "Oh, I got ADHD. I need to organize," I'm like, "Yeah, sure. You know what you need to do? You could prioritize because there are these 4 categories, right? Prioritized, important, acute, and you need to, and things that you don't need to do and aren't important, and you just need to flush away those things." But on the other side, if you don't ever watch TV in that day, you'll get burnout. So actually, watching one show TV should be in like 1 hour of TV that day should be in the important category. It's not acute, but it is important. So just because if you wake up that morning and look at the schedule and see, oh shit, I don't get to watch even 1 hour of TV today. That's going to cause mental burnout before the day even started, which will cause a detriment to the entire day and make everything go to shit. So I know shit tons of organizing, but I can't do it to myself. I know this is the way I work as well. This is the way people work. But how do I not overwhelm people? So I was also thinking about starting a YouTube channel, a blog or whatever, but everything has been written. It's just that I can't teach people to become a doctor. I can't teach people to be a sociologist. If they're not interested, I need to I need to cherry pick, right? And that's what I think. If Brandon wants to reach out, maybe he needs to cherry pick. I mean, of course, he writes shit tons of stuff every other hour, but so it's very difficult to do. But But I think, Brandon, because you might feel lonely once in a while, I think you would be better off having more engaging conversations and feeling more purpose and shit like that, like the ikigai, that Japanese thing. What can I do? What can make me money? What am I interested in? What do I love? And stuff like that. You find this Venn diagram. If you just kill your darlings, that's what I do when I write my lyrics. I write shit tons of stuff. I write lyrics, like songs. So all these chords, they come back, of course, because when you've written a couple of 100 songs, it's like, they're not all good, but I like that sentence over there. I like this word to build some strange word in psychology or ideology, whatever, or in physics, like parallax. Oh, that's a cool word. I'm gonna write. Of course, there's a band named Parallax. Oh, there are 18 bands named Parallax. Oh, there are 50 songs named Parallax because someone else thought of it 50 years ago. And also, it's a stupid concept where something you watch stars or something and measure distances. I don't know. But you build a song around shit, right? So you write the stuff, and then you go out. Oh shit! Someone else did that even better than me. And that's what that's why I don't have a YouTube channel, because someone else already did it. And I just feel like, how would I even reach out? And I think that giving other people advices, I give myself advices, obviously. So, like, I'm leveraging for my own sake by trying to make it out like I think it's universal. I think this would benefit anyone. Like if Brandon, if you just wrote all the shit and then you condensed it, maybe not use ChatGPT because that's ChatGPT is stupid as fuck. But what would the audience like? You know what? That's the thing. What could you market? What could you make your brand? Funny enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Pun intended.
I think you could build a lot of unintended, but it turned out that way anyways, and now it's intended.
Now it's intended.
If it's part of if it worked, integrate it, make it part of your brand.
I've told
It's
I try to
it's
tell I
fucking
try to
awesome.
tell Brandon to start a YouTube channel and stuff like that, so he could. How about this? Like you could write your shit out and just read it and then explain it as you're reading it, and that could be like your video. You could do that all the time.
Yeah,
Something simple like that.
yeah, same thing. Because I couldn't wrap my Swedish way of reading it doesn't work in the same way as when you say it obviously and explain it.
Yeah, things are different said versus written. Anyways, like we interpret things differently.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've been walking around 1,000 steps the last 40 minutes, but if I checked yesterday, it says from I went out with the dog. That was 800 steps. No, there 2,000 steps from 8:45 until 9:45, and since then I have been walking 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5,
you're on your phone, so
6.
you've been pacing this whole
Six and
time.
a half thousand. Yeah, I'm pacing all this time.
I
I've been
get it.
walking around in my house.
I know, I do that too when I'm on the phone. That's what people don't understand. I do that at the bar too. Like, why are you going outside? I'm like, because I just have to walk when I'm on the phone. When I have to answer the phone call and shit. Just yeah.
So I ate pizza before. I mean, it's not like it's bad for me to walk around. Yeah, it's nervous, but I've been this my entire life, and
Yep. No, I get it.
I'm not. Yeah. I actually had these Sony headphones when I took my last courses at the university.
Yeah.
It was awesome, but they stopped charging. That's annoying because they were like $250.
That sucks.
But that's really great. Like you could play. I used to play like waterfalls and shit like that, or heavy rain to like just isolate myself.
Almost.
Which is-
What?
Did you say you had kids over there, or are you gonna take care of them? What?
No, she wants to go shop quick. How about this? Eve? When it turns, we'll leave in 15 minutes, or we'll get done in
What time
15.
would that be?
Well, what time is it?
5:46.
What's 15 minutes?
Okay.
Okay.
It's almost 1 over here.
She got to do math.
Damn. It's already been 3 hours almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 plus 6 equals
We've had a
11.
good. So let's see here. It's almost 1 a.m. your time, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I need to go with my dog again soon.
Equals 11, so
I'll be on. Like I said,
5:51.
at the end of July, I'll be in your time zone.
6:51. Will it be 6:51?
6:01.
Yes.
Okay, go. I love you.
Beated it.
I beat it. She figured it out. She beat the riddle. She's like, I beat it.
Well, that sounds like 9 or 10 years or something.
She's a 10-year-old. Yep. I got a 10 and a 13-year-old. Full-fledged monsters.
We're trying to get kids. Oh, cool. We're trying to get kids. We've been together for 19 years soon. And it didn't work out the first couple of years because she already had a daughter. She had it when she was 17, just before she turned 18. She met a guy who was like 10 years older, and she was together with him for 2 years, and they got a kid.
The 13-year-old is the same situation.
So that made it. So my girlfriend had my wife now.
Yep.
We married just a year ago, so it's still strange saying my wife.
I know. We've been
Almost a year
together
ago.
for almost 12 years. We're not married, but basically we're married.
Same with my brother and my sister as well. They married just a couple of years ago, and they were older than me.
What made you decide to
So
marry
my brother.
now?
Well, we got a house. We moved to the house, and we thought, we want to marry. We were planning on it years ago. We got engaged 15 years ago.
Yep.
It just didn't happen. And also, I'm not religious, but she's still in the church. I stopped paying for it
Okay.
20 years ago.
I got you.
But she's not religious either.
Yeah.
But the priest was okay. The priest had just came back from working in America like 10 years or something. She was kind of cool.
Hell yeah, dude.
Most of the priests in the Swedish state church understand that people in Sweden aren't that religious, anyways. But still,
A thing.
the services, yeah, it's free if one of the parties are still paying the church or a member of the church. So she won a church wedding. So
Yeah.
and we did.
See,
50 people.
I guess for you, so for us, the reason why I try not to get married is
It was
because
like,
she had a kid on her own, and I have a kid on her with her. So we
Yeah.
both get to separately claim a kid. So we both get to be like single parent, you know. So for tax reason, it's just so much more beneficial to fucking.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
sometimes
it the same thing
it
for
is
in
like that.
Sweden? Is it similar?
I think it's different if you live together. I think that's the problem.
Okay.
I think that we have something called the live together law, sambolo.
Okay.
I think it makes a lot of things similar to as if you were married,
Okay.
but it's not quite for judicial reasons. Do you say?
Mm-hmm.
So like insurances and stuff don't work the same, or heritage or something like that.
Yeah. So like, I think like you have to get married by like 62 or something. Like is like the latest where they would get like your social security benefits and all the stuff for you.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. We're trying to get a kid. We tried our second IVF. It didn't work just now, so that's sad.
For sure.
But it didn't work when we were younger because we needed to start our educations and our work, and she already had a kid, and it was the hell with the split parenting there.
Yep. I get that.
And now here we are, and she's 38, right? And I'm 42 this summer.
Okay.
So, and we got a couple of years left.
Yep.
It costs like, let me see, $6,000 or something if you want to start paying for it yourself each attempt afterwards. But we have 3 attempts for free.
Okay.
So we were just on our second attempt, and we had managed to freeze 1 egg.
Crazy.
That's all we managed to freeze. Yeah.
These are IFD.
It's not IVF
IVFs.
because
Yeah, IVFs.
in vitro because it's called in
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
they're really awesome at the clinic.
Hell yeah, dude.
But that's that, and I mean I've been a parent for almost 20 years. So she's 20. She's turning 21 this December.
Congratulations.
And she thanks. So that's I'm still I'm still I'm still a nicer person than her dad is.
Right.
Teaching her about psychology and people like me since she was a kid. So she turned out really great.
Heck yeah, I try.
She
I mean, I
she
try to
also
teach my
learned how
kids
to.
that shit, but they just sometimes they just seem like they're just uninterested, and it's like, no, like I try to tell you guys, like you should really think about these things or whatever. Like you're gonna be so much better in life, like long term and stuff. But I think it's because I'm their dad. They don't listen. They're like, nah. But it's funny because like someone else can say the same thing, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's a good idea." It's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, so her dad almost didn't drive with her, but I did almost entirely.
Okay.
So so she just passed her driving test.
Nice.
She got a driving license. Yeah, just 2 weeks ago, and now she wants to borrow the car all the time.
Of course.
That's awesome, of course. So that's on me, I think. I've also taught her dad, her mom to drive, but that was 15 years ago, and a couple of friends.
That's funny.
Yeah, two friends, both 40-year-old women,
Crazy.
got their driving license this autumn, driving with me as well. That's awesome.
Well, that's awesome because that means you're honestly probably it means you're a good teacher, like we were talking about earlier. Like that's like you're probably like you were saying like your
Even though I
overall
talk all the
calling.
time, right?
What was that?
It doesn't sound counterintuitive because I talk all the time, but
Yeah,
that
but you
depends on the
speak you're
situation.
speaking
Right?
with knowledge and education. It's not like you're just speaking like gibberish or like nonsense or whatever. You know, like you're speaking about important things. Like for even like that, like you're teaching people how to drive. You're trying to tell them like, you know, this stick does this, this is this. You know, like pay attention to these things. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I'm talking from a place of ideology. You know who hates ideology, and in turn must hate me.
What ideology are you speaking from specifically?
Being kind to people, but which you hate, obviously, because you hate all ideology.
I don't hate all ideology. I'm just saying
Okay.
it fucking like bifurcates or whatever the human experience. Just
Separates us. Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
So that's my
and it limits our expression essentially.
Limits
yeah.
our
It does.
expression.
So
Yeah, yeah.
that's
I mean,
kind
like
of
Tribalism, and like that's the whole reason why people don't want to fucking learn things that they should fucking know as far as government and science and
I think we can connect that to what
even
I said earlier as
philosophy.
well about I overwhelm people. Holy shit, that's the word. And the Thomas theorem, because same with you guys, I guess. If you talk to someone or if you call someone whatever, and they think they're gonna be overwhelmed, or they think that, oh shit, Lars, he thinks he's so much better than me, and also, or actually they think he knows so much things about the thing he wants to talk about, because I only talk about, but that's the problem. I talk about the things I know stuff about.
mm-hmm.
I want to know what you know. I want to learn from you, but if your expectation is only that he doesn't want to listen, he only talks about the shit he talks about, he only keeps monologues all the time, that's a big issue, because then I'll never learn anything else, and then I won't talk about the things you think is interesting. So that's like I throw all these lines like fishing hooks all the time. I speak. That's my theory since I was a kid, anyways, and it's really shit unless the other person also has ADHD, because other people would just expect me to not be interested in them. So why should they invest in me? Same thing. Why should people invest in learning about the government if the government doesn't invest in them? But the government does invest in you. You just don't realize it. You're stupid because you expect the government. This is the problem with speaking to me, and the thing Brandon talked about just now. I think it is ideologies. I think it's gatekeeping.
Well,
Definitely.
like identity and shit, right? And yeah,
Mhm.
ideology and identity very similar, overlapping.
I think you have 2 more minutes. Get your shit together to go. What are you gonna get? What you want?
This is me. Fucking whatever. I mean, we've had a good conversation. Like I said, I just like listening to your perceptions of like politics and like your Swedish history. So, like I said, that's all good to me. I like hearing that.
I think I got mirrored quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think you had. I think we share lots of stuff, and Brandon as well, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I call it. He has a systematic approach or something. But
Yeah, that's basically it.
if you cram all the things you know into one system, I mean, why?
Why? I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
I mean
picture.
that's the difficult part. That's what science does as well. That's why people are anti-science because science can't prove everything. No, we can't because we
Nope.
don't know everything.
Exactly.
And the more things you study at a time, like holistic, like medicine and holistic treatments, but we can't test for everything. We can't. We have to just try some things at a time. And the better we become, the more proficient we are, the more we can check out like holistic stuff. Like what the fuck is a chakra? What does it do? Can we measure the energies? No.
Yeah, it's
I think it's just
It's
a
in your head.
phenomenology, and then it's like
Yeah.
there's like a nervous, like a nerve, clump or whatever location associated with it. I think that's all the chakra really is. But like,
And not to
the
all.
spiritualists are going to take that to be like a thing that's actually in the body, but it's not. It's just like a fucking nerve connection.
I call it.
Whatever.
I call if it has a physical response, it's physical, right? It's if it's measurable in the physical response, then it's something. Then it came from a physical process. I don't believe in the woo woo, as I have to call it. I don't believe in the magical, the dualist. I mean, yeah, sure, it's there. We have the quantum, we have the even tinier, we have the infinite regression, everything. But that doesn't mean it's magical. That just means we don't understand it. Why would you
Well,
call it magic?
yeah,
Why would you call it
that's
energy
what
if
I
you
would
can't
say.
measure it right now?
Yeah.
Call it energy when you can measure it. Call it something else. That's the same problem with woke. Woke is great. It's great to be aware of injustice. It's just not great to press your to tell people that that they should be ashamed of being white. I mean,
For sure.
but that's
Yeah.
not what woke did. Yeah, no. That's not what woke stands for. But that's what people who are woke
Associated with
and
it.
claim to be woke are also saying. Some
Mhm.
of them are saying, which makes it really problematic to say that you're woke because you get bundled up with a
I don't know
few
if
kind of
anybody
people.
actually calls themselves woke. It's turned into a pejorative for the
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Really.
sure.
That's it's
Same,
got
same
turned.
as feminist, same as feminist or
All these
climate
things.
activist or something
Yes,
like
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
things that
See, like
people.
they associate it with certain
Mhm.
things, and that's what it is. Like it's their associate. It's the person receiving the word who's associated with all these things. That's not necessarily true.
Do you know what one of the greatest associations is?
Mm,
No,
What's
no
that?
question.
Who's better,
Parent.
Ronaldo or Messi?
I don't care.
Parents?
Parent. Parent.
Good job.
That's one of the greatest.
Hey,
Parent?
Lars, who's better, Rolando or Messi?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, yeah, I just figured because you're European, maybe you'd care.
I'm gonna say Zlatan because he's Swedish.
He says Slotham's the best because he's Swedish.
Excuse me, it's episode 2.
Okay, we gotta go after this game. Go after this game's over.
How many more minutes?
I don't
Hey,
know.
do you know Zlatan might be trans?
Huh?
Do you know Zlatan might be trans?
Really?
Careful, this is one. This is one of my jokes. Yeah, because everyone keeps talking about how his high heel kicks.
Mm,
Sorry, that's
all
my
right.
humor.
That's
Is
all
it
right, brother.
soccer? What the fuck? What are we
It's a
talking
soccer
about?
joke.
Yeah, soccer. Yeah, because he did this like against England or something, kick bicycle kick or whatever,
Oh,
20
really?
years ago. That was
The
iconic.
shit. Yeah, the iconic moment.
Mm.
Yeah, he did shit like that all the time because he's super tall, also. A super diva, and he loves himself.
He's super
Anyways,
A lot of those
uh,
players.
I guess I like Messi more than Ronaldo, anyways, because Ronaldo is fucking Superman. But of course, he has mental health issues like anyone else, and it's not his problem. That's not his problem, but he's also. I don't know if your kid's listening.
No,
He's also a
never.
fuckboy, right?
Yeah.
He also has this fuckboy energy that Messi doesn't have. Not quite, right?
Yeah,
He's more of a
he's a
Messi is
prima
more of a
donna.
yeah, but this is more of a prejudice because of course Ronaldo's gonna love his mom, right? But I don't know. People driving Porsches and I don't know what the fuck they're driving. I can't relate, right?
I cannot.
They live in another galaxy, and
Basically. Yeah, it's
so
like how about this? I always say like a million seconds is 13 days, and a billion seconds is like 31 years. Like they're not even close to the same thing. like
Oh, yeah,
like they're so far
you
apart.
know,
Like you can't even
yeah,
like
and you know how time works when you're a kid.
yeah.
You've
Everything's
been gone, like you were supposed to show up 2 minutes ago, but you've been gone for 31 years.
yep. You know why? So
So,
I have a theory. So like, if you've only lived 4 years, you've only lived like 200 weeks. So like, if someone's like, you can't do something for 2 weeks, well, that's like a lot of your life. Like when you're older, 2 weeks is nothing because you're like, well, I've lived fucking a billion weeks now, so who gives a fuck about 2 weeks or whatever? You know,
that's
like
true.
the perception of time definitely changes and morphs or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll catch up another time. Uh,
Uh,
Fun speaking to you guys.
Hell yeah, bro.
Brandon, we'll find. I think we should do like this. We should prepare for next time, like some bullet points
Yep,
to talk about. That's more interesting to Brandon that
that's
he can
cool.
excel at.
Me and Brandon can
Oh, I
come
don't
up with
That'll
with
shut
a
my fucking mouth up.
me and Brandon can do a
Preparation
script.
probably
Right?
helps. Yeah.
Me and Brandon can do a script or like
Hmm?
a
Yeah.
mini script, like you said, like 6 bullet points. Let's go through these topics. Plus,
I have no idea because I haven't talked to Patrick yet. Right? Voice chat. I haven't had the time.
oh really?
I think
Patrick's a good
is
dude.
he fucking wild? Is he fucking wild as he seems in the chat
No,
rooms?
No,
he's
he's
not
fucking
wild.
he's chill as fuck. Usually he sits
Yeah.
back and listens for
Okay.
everyone. He listens to everyone argue and talk, and then like at the very end, like, all right then. So this is what I would say with all that, and then just makes his little point. You know, like
Yeah, yeah. I see some YouTube video, but I mean, just checking in.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
It means nothing per se.
And some of the people in the chat though are like super religious. One of the like Rose wrote tonight. I don't know if I've seen her before. She said she was like a psychologist or no, like a doctor for 8 years, and now she's talking about everything is energy and shit like that. And I'm like, yeah, sure, everything is energy if you define it as energy,
Yeah.
but everything is not energy in universal terminology.
I look.
And
I
then we
mean,
got Leia.
I've been looking at everything as information, but when does
Yeah.
information become energy? It's a symbiotic relationship between the information and the receiving entity. I would say.
I usually say things things have metaphysical characteristics, but not but things to be things you need to be matter. It has to be matter, right? It's physical in matter. Even if
I
you
would
go
agree.
down to thoughts, thoughts are physical. They are metaphysical in
Nature.
in nature, yeah. But they are physical products, right? Of matter.
I would agree.
Yeah, but we
Honestly.
can't touch it. They're abstract. They're intangible, but they're not. They're abstract, but they're not intangible. Because if you shoot me through the head, I'll stop talking. I'll stop thinking. That means they weren't intangible. They were abstract because my thoughts are scattered around the pavement. But but if you shoot me through the head, then that's gonna stop. That means it was a physical process, right? Because if you shoot me through the head and my thoughts fly away, you should be able to measure that, right? If you can't measure that, then fuck you. Maybe not everything is energy as you make it out to be. Maybe not everything is radio waves as we can pick up. All this thing about chakra and shit like that. And I'm enlightened and all that. I don't know. It's difficult speaking to these kinds of people because I kind of have this Ubermensch anti-Ubermensch mentality, while also at the same time thinking people are fucking idiots and people are fucking morons, and it's not good when they're both. So yeah. So I try to let other people talk. I have a hard time empathizing and sympathizing with people, even though they're obviously a victim of something.
I mean, we all are to an extent. We all have our trials and shit, bad things have happened to us, or whatever you want to fucking call them.
Brandon,
Yeah, I
did
don't
you
know if
meet
I'm
in the
full-on
metaphysics group
physicalist,
or what?
but yeah.
Brandon,
I'd
did you see
say
him in the
what?
metaphysics group?
What about it? Which one?
Uh,
What post?
did you
I
fish me
got
out in
fucking
that
banned,
group?
or I got
Yeah,
timed out by that fucking retard.
Nicholas.
This fucking yeah, dude. Because I said
Creator.
something about tolerating homosexuality or whatever, and then he like banned me
He's
for
Christian as fuck.
promoting. I know he is, and his entire worldview is just to fit
Yeah, I know.
Christianity
This
in,
is
just
very
to
funny.
justify his faith. That's it. That's all. That's all. Everything he posts is about
What,
is
what was he?
justifying
What was
faith.
he
Yeah.
saying?
To say like, oh, we have to rely on beliefs because we can't know anything.
That's not true
That's
though.
all it comes down to.
The thing is, you might not know anything or like everything, but we know a fuck ton about a lot of fucking things. Like people act like we're stupid. Like we're not that stupid.
It's like a. I shouldn't say
This guy is
universal.
special. He's a special case, and he looks the part.
Yeah, well, he's like Asian. I think that's
Vietnamese or something. I don't know. And he says that the Buddhists and the Christians have been at it for decades. I was an admin. He made me an admin this autumn. Soon after I went in and said smart shit. And then he kicked me out because I was talking about materialism, and I said you can't misrepresent something that you don't understand fully. But I understand materialisms fully, and without with materialism and physicalism, and they call it. Okay, this is what I was saying. Scientism
Oh, I know.
is
That's a hard word.
overconfident. Yeah.
I love when
But
people say
that's
that.
just that nobody calls themselves scientisms.
No, they don't.
That's only a word. That's just a pejorative
It is.
word. That's just something you say because they don't believe in your
It's
Christian
the same,
faith.
it's the same as when people say Darwinism. Like nobody says they're Darwinism. We just say we know that evolution's true. Like there's no Darwinism religion or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, like
And then some people say, "Well, but you
there
don't know
is
it's true."
Darwinist
But
stance
true,
that
scientifically true.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it's not a religion. It's not like
That means
people say they're Darwinist
yeah.
or like I said, you believe in
Right.
evolution, you believe in his thinking, but you don't go, I worship him or whatever. You know, like
definitely an adjective on certain theories. Yeah.
yes. They're
What's
just,
that? What's that with the ants?
What was that?
What?
What's that with the ants?
With the ants?
Someone was mentioning something with an ant.
An ant?
I don't know.
No, I thought you were saying, Brandon.
No, I was saying no. What I was trying to say is, fuck. All right, I was trying to say like there's a universal Darwinist view. You know, it just extends the Darwinist position to physics and everything else. You know, that's kind of where I tend to go. Like I think even with theories, like they're kind of Darwinist, and
Because you like the
language Darwinist,
system. Yeah.
huh?
System. You like the system's approach. You like to
Yeah,
put things.
basically.
And why not? That's fucking science, isn't it?
Which should all be consistent.
Should be. But that's the problem. We can't keep track of everything, and we don't know everything, and we can't zoom in further than the quarks, further than quantum theory right now, right? So
Yeah.
the quantum levels. What happens when you zoom in even more?
We don't know yet.
Exactly. So why do we pretend that we can make foolproof systems of anything, descriptions of anything? Are our senses foolproof?
Not
We
sure.
associate pattern seeking, associating geniuses in one way, and also that is also a curse. Obviously,
Yep.
I mean we're not living in caves now, so why the hell are we complaining? Well, some people are living on the streets, obviously. I think we should be able to fix that.
Humanity as a general we've gotten way better as humans, like since primitive times for sure.
I mean, of course, the billionaire thing would solve almost all.
It would help tremendously.
Mhm.
It's not even just
Holy shit!
It's the whole thought process of being like the whole idea of you hoarding money and being greedy like that is the actual problem. Like People think
You know what
they
my
could have
kid
that
brother
much
would
money.
say?
There's also the workplace democracy aspect where, people are just kind of, not there in their, or they're just there to do as they're told rather than
Yeah,
having like a say. Like
for sure.
that's important.
That is important.
People
too.
need to have a say.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree.
Lots of studies around organizational theory. We got studied. I mean, from the industrialization back to Adam Smith, producing the needles or whatever from factory start. Let me see. We got Fordism, we got Taylorism, we got all these isms about who were saying we need some stupid people, right? And if not stupid, then at least compliant. And the world wouldn't work without them. So it's clever to foster these kinds of ideals and to control the narrative. And that's what brands are doing, right? That's what Coca-Cola and McDonald's and all these companies are doing. And the food industry, like associating pop, do you call them pops? I don't know. I got a Fanta right here in my hand.
Soda, pop, yeah,
Because if
whatever to
you,
call it.
yeah, soda, yeah. So if you have a hamburger or pizza in your mouth gets all fatty, uh, and you get bored of the taste, so you have something sugary that makes you forget. It like brainwashes your neurons,
Yeah.
your taste receptor, and the carbonated drink water flushes the fat away from your mouth. So you forget that you're gonna be full in a minute. So all these associations are like the companies know this shit. They know manipulation. I haven't seen the documentary yet, but someone posted the documentary like a week ago, like 4 hour documentary about manipulation of the masses. Have you seen it?
No, but I watch stuff like that in general. So I mean, that stuff always
Oh,
fascinates me.
shit. I'm gonna see if I find it.
Yeah, put it in the chat or
Here
whatever.
we go. I'm gonna. Oh wait. Here we go. Copying it. How do I exit? Oh yeah, there we go. Russia is tiny. Just putting it. This link here. There we go. The Century of the South. Yeah.
Century of the South.
That's. I got an hour in or something. It's fucking awesome. This guy who manipulated the people into wanting to smoke. Stuff like that.
Oh, dude, yeah, dude.
That
Basically, like all
that's
advertisement
great.
people, all the science that goes behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've studied this shit. Not pure marketing, but I've studied the organization and I've studied the psychology behind it. And I think that my education, the program I took, is, I mean, building a more empathic person. I mean, we're HR, right?
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be pure marketing because the pure marketing, those are the people who don't give a shit about other people. Manipulators who have no qualms about doing what it takes to get more money. Well, that's not quite how I was brought up. So I kind of want to cheat the system, teach people how to cheat the system, not teach people how to how to manipulate others. Even though I know these things, I could work for a company. I could help them in marketing. That's the thing. I always walk into stores or places in the houses everywhere, factories, whatever, or on TV, and I see, a dozen things to improve. start up a show on TV. They go into some factory. I don't know. I just look around. I see, oh shit, that's dirty. That's you should front those pieces because those types of groceries are gonna fly off the shelves if you just put them on another place. Things like that. I know how people think in a way, like what colors people like, depending on how you put them. Why you place the milk in Sweden? Everyone drinks milk, right? Almost everyone. So that's placed in the fridges, in the coolers, in the back of the store. So everyone has to walk around the entire store to get those because they'll pick up other stuff along the way, and that's manipulation as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super simple.
All right.
But no one knows these things.
I gotta head out though. Yeah, I'll keep talking, but I gotta head
Do
out.
that.
Peace out, Brandon. Peace out, Lars.